we find ourselves fighting for survival on a frigid ocean planet, home to a plethora of unique and deadly creatures that reside in this region's biomes that go deeper and deeper and deeper. Oh no! I have 100 days to uncover what happened to the former researchers that worked here, along with helping out an unexpected new friend in my first ever full playthrough of Subnautica Below Zero. Hey, my lovelies, I am your humble ringmaster, Crowmeda, and say it with me now, let the show begin! We begin our adventure on a spaceship, and someone named Cal says this is as close as they'll go and want to talk us out of launching to this planet here, us being a person named Robin. Yet we do not care about the warnings. We need to find some answers on this alien planet, and the meteor shower on display before us will serve as cover to go unnoticed from Altera, the boogeyman corporation of the universe. So we do just that. Free fall for a bit, get pummeled by some meteors, and ultimately crash land on this frigid area of the ocean planet.
And that's a level 3 concussion right there, right off the rip. Very good. Could have been worse.
Well, looks like that concussion sent me straight into a dream about a little guy, just a soft little guy who was rather dashing, if I do say so myself. That's right, my lovelies, the people over at U2's have outdone themselves by creating this high-quality plushie of yours truly, which is launching on March 15th. This big boy is a limited edition, which means once sold out, will never be made again. But that's not all. We are doing a giveaway of one of these fancy fellows. All you gotta do to enter is follow the link in the description to the giveaway page and complete these simple steps as you see right here. It's that easy, and I'll keep y'all updated on my Instagram and Twitter so you don't forget. Best of luck to one and all, and don't forget it is launching on March 15th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hold on. I smell burnt chicken.
Oh boy. Okay. And we're gonna burn alive! Oh, never mind. Okay, we're good. Okay. So,
536 feet. Enjoy your stay.
As I was saying, enjoy your stay! Brother in Christ, it's the apocalypse! Okay, I need some cover. Is this a cave? No, it's not a cave. It looked like a cave from a distance. Okay. Is this a food brick? Yeah, it's a nutrient block. Okay. Well, at least I can, be satiated as I get obliterated.
I quickly noticed that I am freezing, so that is one new survival element to take care of. In this case, by warming up next to my combusted space Bugatti. Things that I managed to grab at the crash site were some flares, more nutrition bricks, and some water bottles. So we are sorted and ready to sprint onto our life pod signal that is a bit further out. Reaching it required running past some plants that singed me, trippy looking things I might say, but we gotta get to safety as soon as possible. On the other side of the passage, we met the sea, and our life pod is out in the water, so it is time to hop across some ice platforms to get closer and meet our new neighbors.
Oh, it's a penguin. Hey, little buddy. Oh, look at you. It's a penguin. If this were to be as I was saying, if this would be Mario 64, the correct thing to do would be to yeet it. It has been done.
I plunged into the shallows, and after a short swim in this pretty-looking underwater ecosystem, reached my life pod, our first of hopefully many bases of operations. In here we have oxygen, temperature regulation, a bit of storage, and a fabricator to craft items. However, I got a notification from someone named Lillian, who expresses their condolences that our sister, who is named Sam, is no longer amongst the living. And Altera, who Sam worked for, says the cause of death was Sam's own negligence, which is very unlike her. So it's not just the ocean here that seems fishy. Seems like the reason we came here is to find out what happened. And our first point of interest is Delta Station, where I think Sam worked at for a while. But before we do any investigating, we need to get some basics sorted, starting with gathering early materials like copper, titanium, and ribbon plants that seem to be used for energy storage. During my gathering session, I was notified to a nearby Altera cache. By the name, I assume it might have some supplies. However, it is 250 meters out, and I am a little bit too scared to just go out there with no tools. I did, however, reach this creepvine area. Kind of nice to see some greenery among the frozen wasteland, but here is where I got some seeds, and below, some quartz. But we can't forget, we are not alone here.
Ooh, what the heck? What are you? Hello? Sea monkey? What? For real? Hello? You chill? By the looks of it, you are. Okay, cool. So we got friendly neighbors. That's more than I could ask for.
After a bit more gathering, I noticed the sun was starting to set, and on top of that, a storm was rolling over, which led me to seek shelter in the pod, where I made some rubber, which helped me to make a knife, followed by some glass, as well as a battery, to make myself a flashlight, all while hearing the muffled sounds of thunder from above. With a few more ribbon plants collected, I got to making all things required to make this here scanner to learn new blueprints and document the ecosystem, so all that's left this evening was to hunt down fish for some easy food. The weather doesn't seem to have cleared up on the morning of day 2, so let's stay underwater for safety. The water bottles came in handy, and the fish got cooked with likely extreme levels of laser radiation, but it hits the spot regardless. A little resource run was done, getting more of the basics, ending with more creep vines but couldn't find any ribbon plants. When I noticed some broken machinery at the seafloor, and it turns out to be a scannable fragment of a sea glide, of which I managed to scan 3 out of 3 parts, unlocking the blueprint fully. Back at base, it was time for many upgrades. Thanks to some creep vines, I got to make some fiber mesh, which was used to make an oxygen tank, which also added blueprints for the oxygen tank's upgrades. Up next was a pair of fins to swim better, and these items helped me to go around and search for copper, as well as plant scans, by the way. I'm trying to scan pretty much everything. But back to the point. The copper was turned into copper wire, which was used to make the recently learned Sea Glide. This bad boy runs on simple batteries, has a map, and a frontal flashlight while improving our swimming speed. So now that I am more confident in my gear, I managed to scan a sea monkey. A little bit cautious because I don't know what they do, since once I was done, it began to follow me.
No. You're cute and all, but I do not trust you.
But yeah, for most of the day I hunted bladderfish as they can be turned into water bottles which don't spoil, so it's good to suck up on those to save on time later. A little red fish nipped me, so I learned to steer clear of those, and at sunset I thought I was doing okay with my water supply, but wow, these are really easy to spot at night, so I got a flippin' ton of these little critters, and wow, that's enough water bottles to last me multiple days. Gotta stay hydrated, my lovelies. Day 3 came around and I was ready as can be to make it to the cache we were notified of, and took a moment on the way to admire the gorgeous auroras in the night sky. If only everything on this planet wasn't out to eat me. Near the location I found some salt that's handy for preserving cooked foods, and scanned a light stick, as I will do with pretty much all structure pieces that I come across to be sure that I can build a very cool base once we get the builder tool. A new danger showed itself, a freezer fish that puts you in ice in a flash, which you need to break out of quickly in an attempt to not drown. So, noted, stay away from those. But that's not the only weird new fish that I came across.
What the heck? Brother, you got a hole in your everything. Oh, it's actually called the hole fish. Well, that kind of makes sense. Pick up symbiote. Ah!
A pack of sea monkeys were sort of guarding the cache site, so I stealthily splish-splashed my way on over to the platform. Here were some basic supplies and a PDA, which I will read later on and summarize like many others, since my focus was on a tunnel leading deeper underground filled with roots. I'm gonna want to check it out, but first, I started scanning parts of a mobile vehicle bay to start making, you guessed it, vehicles, and fully completed the grav trap blueprint, basically a fish trap device. And can't forget that I'm finding eggs of alien origin all over the place. Gotta catch them all, as they say. A beacon was here, so I scanned that and later picked it up and found out that whole fish can give you some oxygen, which I think is really neat. What isn't neat is how curious these creatures are.
Okay, well, what do you want? What do you want? Hi! Hey, now, it's easy. Get off me. No. Grabby. Where'd he go?
Some of the
Was it you?
wildlife
No.
down here is very
I'm about to die.
grabby.
Man, I lost my scanner. What the? Was it you? You have my scanner? No? Who has my scanner? It's not? Oh, wait. It is you. This is one of those moments where if violence doesn't solve your problems, you're just not using enough of it. Where'd it go? I think he dropped it, but now I don't know where the hell it is.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen.
Wait, you still... Whoa.
Warning. 30
Still have it?
seconds of oxygen remaining.
There it is. Got it. Woo. Come to Papa.
Well, glad that's done. Back to business. The beacon was placed at what I called the forest cave entrance to be sure that I could find it later, but decided, why wait, let's have a look. and was immediately greeted by a bombfish that chased me around till it popped like a balloon filled with C4. I checked the thing that it popped out of on the wall, hoping for sulfur, but just another egg this time. The real prize was finding some silver, very useful for electronics, and not only that, there was a sea monkey nest, and seems like they used trash to make it, like some birds do I suppose, and among it was scannable parts of the vehicle bay. Thanks to this oxygen plant here, I could stay down long enough to find one piece of gold, highly useful for crafting. This one room had a hole that I wanted to explore, but it surpassed a depth of 100 meters, which means if I were to go down there with my current equipment, my oxygen would be reduced further, and I have little enough of that as it is. So once I found one last piece to scan and completed the mobile vehicle bay blueprint, that was a mouthful, I skedaddled on home at sunset, where with 5 titanium ore I made a titanium ingot. I need this for the vehicle bay, by the way. What I'm missing though is a computer chip, and for it, I am missing table coral. That shouldn't be too hard to find, I suppose. So on day 4 I set out to get some, but had a really hard time figuring out how to get them. I was so certain that hacking at big coral would give the stuff, but it wasn't working. Apparently I'm wrong. On this outing though, I did find some anemone hearts at these here roots. Turns out that it's food, so that's handy dandy nourishment in a pinch. During my search, I ended up in the tunnels again, where I could hear terrifying roars that I think are close, but further down. At least this time here I found sulfur in the exploding fish pods. For a long time I was still desperately looking for table coral, but there goes my sea glide, out of juice, right as I spotted some sea dragon aliens in the distance that are very fast, so I am not going there without a vehicle, that's for sure. Right nearby I spotted a long busted cable that was coming from a man-made platform of sorts, with a cage, so I went on over to investigate. On it was a mineral scanner that I got to learn, same as the desk that it was on. Some general supplies were here, but not much else of significance, so I looked down where the cable went and saw an abandoned platform further down. So I checked it out and got some more general supplies when I got a distress signal in Morse code, it seems, originating from a depth of 200 meters, much further than I can go at the moment. To make a new battery for the Sea Glide, I got 2 more ribbon plants, and then got notified that the location of the dock of Delta Station had been detected, which is precisely where I wanted to go to get more information on what happened to Sam. Sadly, it is over 600 meters out from our pod, and right in the direction of the sea dragons. Perfect! So, yeah, let's just focus on what we can do, which is to power up the Sea Glide again and make a grav trap, which when placed outside started to provide a stable supply of easily accessible fish, unlucky enough to get caught. Mushrooms were here and they seemed to be edible, so I plucked some of those, but dang it, I still don't have table coral for the chip to make the vehicle bay. So I searched all day long until night had fully set in, but nothing. Completely empty-handed. It was first on day 5 where I found the elusive coral. It's this tiny stuff in the trenches, so with that sorted I could finally craft a chip, make the bay, and place it at sunrise. But to my bamboozlement, there are no plans in this thing. What good is a vehicle bay without anything to craft? Seems like I'll have to do more exploring in the nearby areas for vehicle plans, so just in case I would need to repair anything on my scavenging trip, I fused 2 silver together to make a wiring kit, and with that, made a repair tool. This was possible thanks to the bit of sulfur that I had gotten. In case I found points of interest, I got a beacon made, and a first aid kit to heal the inevitable beating that I'm going to be getting. Since I had the repair tool now, I went to check out the holding cage with the busted cable, but no dice, nothing can be fixed here. So I kept exploring and scanned this cool looking Arctic ray that's chill. To my surprise, I was so certain that I was going to get impaled. After some more scanning of the local flora, I got chased off by some predator fishes, so I did what I could to escape its jaws, which led me to an area that has fragments of a sea truck. Seems like we'll be able to make a vehicle pretty soon. Very nice. So I got 2 parts scanned and spotted some vents. Seems like I'm quite far from home. This place is much deeper too. Eventually I completed the sea truck blueprint, and with that, new BPs got synthesized. Excited to craft it, I went on home, where I saw that I unlocked plasteel ingots, synthetic fibers, advanced wiring kit, and the sea truck depth upgrade. As for the truck itself, I'm gonna need 1 advanced wiring kit, 2 pieces of glass, and a power cell. So we got our shopping list, everybody. Just need to watch out since I got an alert saying that dangerous weather is approaching. So let's stay low, and got more table coral too, and general supplies, ending the day by clearing up storage space by making titanium ingots as well as glass, since each craft clears up quite a few slots. On day 6, I went to go find some gold since I'm going to need to make more computer chips. So the tunnels it is for me since that's where I found one piece last time. But remember how my scanner was pickpocketed right in front of me in broad daylight? Well, I returned the favor by stealing one of their descendants. An eye for an eye. I did manage to get one piece of gold, which will help me out for the moment. So back home with that I went to make the advanced wiring kit. Now all that I'm missing for the truck is the power cell, for which I need batteries, for which I need ribbon plants, which were for some reason impossible to find for the longest time.
Warning. 30 seconds
Oh,
remaining.
oh, it's still coming. Oh man. And my sea glide is out of juice.
Eventually, I figured out they grow in small batches and little nooks amongst the rocks, so with that knowledge, I started to get a ton of this stuff. Now that's a hefty haul right there, which was brought home and allowed me to make first off a battery for the Sea Glide since it was out of juice. That helped me to go get creep vine seeds super fast, that got turned into rubber, and then I could get my hands on my first power cell, which with all the other components allowed for the creation of our first sea truck.
Here we go. First vehicle of the journey. Ooh. It looks like I can expand on it, which would make sense since this is supposedly a truck. So I guess I just need to make extensions for it. But this is nice. This is nice. The question is, how do I get into this thing? It is quite solidly shut. Don't really... Oh, never mind. I found it. Let's go. Oh, okay. It's blizzard outside. No big surprise. But nice! We have a vehicle for transport, which means we should be able to make it to Delta Station.
Perfect! We now have a vehicle that hopefully, potentially, could get us to Delta Station in one piece to figure out what happened to Sam. This expedition began in the early hours of day 7, reaching the vent area in no time, but man, the roars here tingled my spine in all the wrong ways.
What the heck is that? What? Bro. You know what? My initial reaction might have been a little bit over the top. You probably taste delicious.
Time to set foot on land after a whole week of swimming since we made it to the station. The dock had a few scannable objects around, sure, but man, it is freezing out here. I had to take a dip in the water to warm up. Note that going into a vehicle also regulates your temperature much faster than if you're just in the water. Now, it is time to get to the massive radio tower at the peak of the island, but here's when I got a radio transmission, warning me to not go any further as apparently I am trespassing. Listen, I got to this planet bypassing customs. My very existence at this point is trespassing. But hey, look, acid pools. That's new. However, I'm not touching that stuff. The plants in the cave served as warm-up points, which helped me from turning into a popsicle. Thank you, thermal release. Onwards we go, finding all sorts of new things, like shrub nuts. I will abstain from making a joke here, but we also found crystalline sulfur. I wonder what new things we can slap together with this stuff. At this sort of open concept research post in this cave, I found a PDA, something about Altera logs, but we don't have time to read. We need to reach the station. Here is where we meet the one warning us to get off their property.
Oh! Hey,
Stop
oh!
right there, Altera. You're out of bounds.
I'm not with Altera.
Then your position is doubly precarious.
What do you mean?
If you're telling the truth, you're out of your mind. If you're lying, there'll be hell to pay.
Wait! Who are you?
Stay off my land.
Yo, wait a minute! Wait a minute!
The woman in the exosuit has been traced as far as my technology will allow.
Uh-huh. And what's that?
It would appear I'm far less alone on this planet than I had anticipated.
Okay, that has
Signal
to be...
location upload.
Will you shut up? I am 100% certain that has to be the mercenary from the first game. That came with the people that we were supposed to save. That was a badass that managed to get tusks from the long fish, as I tended to call them. That has to be the same person. It is the same voice. That does mean, though, that they didn't die in the first game. Because the last thing we heard about them, their name was something with an M. I forget details. They were like dragged deeper down while they were like diving in a cave. That's all I remember. I will uncover thy name, don't you worry.
Now, having reached the tower, I figured out it was for surveillance. By climbing around here, I found another PDA, as well as an open box that had a pop-up for test override module port. No idea what the heck that could be, and I have more important things to take care of. The sun is setting and I don't intend to freeze here, so after warming up at another thermal lily, enjoying the blood-colored sunset, I managed to get to what I think is Delta Station, where a box got me the plans for a scanner room. In search of shelter, I entered one of the two buildings, and it was snowed in from a busted window, but this place was filled with wonderful scannable pieces for me to build later on, as well as tons of PDAs that I will sift through back at HQ. I also made sure to scan the rooms themselves to allow for more expansions on my own constructions. But yeah, hunkered down here in this little abandoned shelter waiting for the storm to subside. As day 8 came around, I noticed a map of the area mounted on the wall, and I think that I'm at the yellow marker. Not fully sure. Better scan this in case I need to make one later on. One thing I did learn is that Sam worked at Phi Robotics, so that's probably one of the other markers, I believe. As for my stay here, in short, scanned everything, stole posters, got a shaving kit, more PDAs, and a picture of a penguin abomination. How nice. Can't forget about the modification station though. If I make this, I should be able to make upgrades and such. What I noticed is that there were two beds, one from Jeremiah and the other is from someone named Fred, that I conclude were like Sam's co-workers, since in the second building, I get notified that this place is a bit higher class, likely belonging to this place's superior named Emmanuel. This was said by our protagonist with a not-so-friendly tone. As I was scanning all the fancier stuff here, it was mentioned that Sam got under management's skin. An aquarium was scanned, which got me excited, along with an observatory room. We really need to build our tools soon. We have so many things learned already to make an awesome base. Having finished up here, I waddled on back to the truck at the dock, hopped on in, and saw a trench right under me. Upon inspection, this place is mineral rich but has thermal activity, so I should watch out for that and the plated sea dragons that call this place home. Later on, I don't know what possessed me to hop out of the truck to scan this here vent, but I did, which is when I got chomped by one of the foul beasts. Had me startled quite a bit, but I lived, to my dismay. So I got straight back into my truck and skedaddled on home, where I made a mineral detector, and this thing is fantastic. Has a little screen to show what you can search for and where to go. It works really well. Now for the heaps of PDAs we have. Day 9 would be the day to catch up on all the juicy gossip in bullet points. Sorry if I make mistakes, but this is what I gathered. Emmanuel, the one in charge here, was the person to originally send the message that Sam passed away due to her own negligence. As for the tons of messages between ourselves and Sam, it kinda goes from us not wanting Sam to work for Altera since they are scummy, but Sam was excited and came to this planet to work on some mobile device of sorts. Apparently it's a spy pangolin which mimics creatures. For a bit Sam mentioned she's seeing someone, like dating, not like visually observing someone, you get what I mean, but ultimately seems like it didn't work out. We do not know who this person might have been at this point in time. We find out that the protagonist is upset that the company that they worked for kind of got bought up by Altera, and we really hate Altera, and yeah, so bummer. But the more important bits is that the robo-pangolin found something big under the ice, which Altera immediately covered up. Sam later comes to think that we might have been right about not trusting the corporation, as she thinks something terrible is going on, as apparently what was found was a leviathan frozen in ice, and it is infected with a deadly bacteria known as Kara. And it doesn't stop there. Seems like the higher-ups want to use this deadly bacteria in weapons and experimental treatments. But weapons, yeah, that won't have any negative repercussions at all. As for more info on this Emmanuel person, he sent Sam to Outpost Zero as well. Congratulate some person named Danielle Valenti at the team at Omega Lab. Apparently, they closed Phi Robotics in order to redirect its funds to research the Kara bacterium. The team he is in charge of is called Frostpack, very creative, and this dude is just, I don't know, kinda weird, makes me uncomfortable. He congratulates his partner, who isn't here, on some things and apologizes very unenthusiastically for not making it to their daughter's presentation, and goes on and on about how well their relationship works when they're not together, and like, is just a work-obsessed weirdo that's just kind of interested in his partner's accomplishments, and that's kind of it. Jeremiah from one of the beds seems to be in charge of maintenance and doesn't always like his job. Fred from the other bed says his truck keeps getting sabotaged, weirdly enough, but Sam helped him out, so we know that they know each other. Also, I don't know if I'm gathering this correctly, but apparently Fred was the one to originally be the one to have found the Leviathan. Other people at Delta Station were named Parvin, Zeta, Danielle, the one that was praised earlier I assume, and someone named Vin. All these people knew Sam, since in this here PDA we can see them having a conversation together. But yeah, that was a whole day of reading. Time to spice things up on day 10 by testing how deep the sea truck can actually go. But before I could test it, I noticed that the location of the person in the mech that we saw is incredibly far down. I doubt the truck will get that far, especially since these sharks keep pushing me all over the place like a game of ping pong. It was a nightmare. I had to take time to repair this piece of junk too. And now we can test its limits. And without upgrades, it reaches a total depth of 150 meters. 50 more than I can go myself, so not too great just yet. But this did let me spot a platform with things on it. I wanted to check it out ASAP, but these frickin' sharks, man, they kept chasing me off, which led me to get extremely lost in the sauce here. But hey, I did see a bit of a green alien structure right there. Very interesting. My escape maneuvers led me to this tube that I scanned, and here is where I unlocked the oh-so-desired builder tool, along with many new blueprints like a bioreactor and a high-capacity oxygen tank, among other things. With this achievement completed, I returned on home and got to work getting the required supplies for the builder tool, but I am missing more gold to complete the chip for it. So I set out to get that on day 11, swimming back and forth all over the place since it seems like all the ones in the nearby tunnels I already had gotten. What I did get were root pustules, which apparently are reactive compounds. Sounds really explosive. I went out and wandered onto the vents area, where I was very cautious to get bits of gold as the plated dragons were distracted. So I got 1 gold, 2 gold, 3 gold, 4!
Okay. About! That's enough gold! Oh, man!
Alrighty then, back at HQ with this awesome batch, got to make the builder tool, which added emergency shelter blueprints to our databank, likely some basic structures that we can make now. To begin our primary base of operations, I put together a multi-purpose room at midnight. The next day I did a bit of a quartz run, which let me finish up a hatch to be able to enter our structure, but this place still has no power, so there is no oxygen in here. To remedy this, I placed a solar panel on the roof, which is sticking out of the water a bit, as you can see here. So now the inside is fully operational. First thing I did was dump all the decor items I looted to free up some inventory space, then got more of the basic supplies since we need to build some essential pieces in the room. I did make windows, which, well, aren't really essential, but we all love a good view. And then got to placing 2 lockers for storage, a fabricator so I don't depend on the one in the pod, and a battery charger to keep cycling them, which will save me time compared to making new ones all the time. As for quality of life upgrades, I got a coffee machine mounted, which our PDA considers a lovely dirty bean water, which I couldn't agree more on that description. Next up was an executive desk, since I'm the big boss around here, I need something schmancy, which will hold my placeable decor. To finish off the day, I got all of the supplies in the life pod up to our new lockers, so we are fully moved into the new crib. In the morning of day 13, I decided it's time to make a high-capacity oxygen tank, so I was out getting titanium for it, and I came across an ore vein. It had gold and silver in it. I was super excited to see this since gold was still a little bit on the short end of things. Once my titanium gathering was finished, I went straight back home and got the new tank completed at around noon. Another key upgrade I need is the depth module for the sea truck, but it needs enameled glass, which even after having played the first game, I still don't know how to fully pronounce that, but it needs flipped diamonds. Great, so I did some preparations for an upcoming expedition by plucking fish from our graph trap garden in my backyard, cooked some and salted a few separately so I can take them along without spoiling, and swap the battery on the Sea Glide. So with all that set, time to find diamonds, and I think I'm gonna have to go quite far out or deep to find some. And wow, this game is just, it is really gorgeous. No matter which area I'm in, it is always a sight to behold. What I did find was some platforms with a farm on it, so I scanned that and unlocked the exterior grow bed. Seems like I'm gonna plant my own ribbon plants very soon, but it's getting dark quickly, and we are in the middle of nowhere. so we need to keep on our toes as we scavenge across the cliff sides, which was lucrative as I came across a few bits of lithium. Not diamonds, but still very useful, I'm sure. Man, that is just so spooky out here. I feel like I am always being watched. The search continued into day 14, and the thought popped into my head that maybe diamonds are where this lava stuff is, so very cautiously I got closer with the truck in fear that the heat would damage it, but it's fine. So we have access, everybody. Let's see what's in these fiery tunnels. And right off the rip, we got us a ruby, which is amazing, and a ton of gold.
Jackpot, baby.
Some little glow shrimps named rock grubs were scanned, and I shoved them into my pocket. I like crustaceans, man. They're elite organisms. What I didn't expect was to stumble upon a massive structure down here.
Ooh. Diamonds, let's go! Oh, I knew this would be the right place. Come to Papa, baby! Oh, this place is magnificent. All right. I hear the geysers, but I have this tingly feeling. You know the tingly feeling when something ain't right? That's originating from whatever's below there. That's where that feeling's coming from, so I'm gonna stay away from that hole. But we got more excuse you. We have more important things to do. We got rubies, and we have whatever this thing is over here.
Signal located.
Yo, sea truck dock. And I thought I saw something about a moon. There it is, the moon pool. And we have a scannable piece of a laser cutter fragment. This is so good. We just made amazing progress right there. Okay, so this symbol reminds me of one of the symbols that was on the map. I don't know if it was Omega Lab, but all I know is that Omega Lab was now in charge of researching the Kara virus. Bacterium, whatever you want to call it. Potato, probably isn't, but never mind that. And yeah, that is a no-go zone, and it's leading straight into their facility that I imagine I cannot enter. So we're gonna need to find a way to break in or power this whole station so we can get in.
I licked this place clean of all of its diamonds and rubies, leaving not a single scrap behind. This is amazing progress indeed, but combining this excitement with my tension was a very weird mix of feelings for sure.
Okay. Was that gate open the whole time? Nope. Oh, and everything's busted here too. I wanna look inside, but I have so much important loot. Oh, this is one of those moments where curiosity killed the crow. No, mama! I'll just have a look-see. Just a wee... Oh, easy now. Crow, get it together. Yep, nothing's there. Okay, time to go home.
Well, time to go back from whence I came, with impeccable driving skills if I do say so myself. No time was wasted getting home to unload all this precious loot, which was exactly what I needed to make the enameled glass that I wanted, as well as thanks to the lithium that I had gathered, got to make plasteel ingots, which together formed the MK1 depth module for the sea truck, which got slapped into this rust bucket immediately, and yes sir, we can now reach a depth of 300 meters, that is double of what it was before. To finish off the day, since I learned to make a moon pool, added a connection tube to the base, and to that, the moon pool, which caused the structural integrity of the base to bust. Oh boy. So, repairs are in order on day 15. To restore the structure's integrity, I had to remove 2 of the windows, and then repair all of the leaks with the repair tool, which when completed, rebooted the system and got the drain system up too, getting all of the water out neatly. The truck got parked in the moon pool since here it can easily be repaired, and it charges too, which is an amazing benefit. The issue about that though is that it takes power from the base, and it is nighttime, so my one solar panel isn't cutting it. Can't craft anything at night, so I place a second solar panel just so we have a bit more before we get to making a bioreactor for power. As I was restocking on food, I figured I'll need to reinforce the base to keep expanding, and that's gonna need more lithium, so that's what I set out to do. On the way I did use a knife on this here ribbon plant to get its seeds for our future farm, and after that found this platform with a crane that had the blueprint for a rebreather in this case, which is great to extend your time diving. From this position though, I spotted a cave with a lit alien pillar, so of course I had to check it out, and it went deep, a long cavern with more of the same pillars, until I got to a larger structure with a force field and figured out this is where the distress signal was coming from that was like Morse code so many days ago. So hesitantly, I hopped out of my truck and swam into the force field, landing me in a cave, but I was soon contacted by an unknown voice.
Critical.
Hello? Is someone there?
That's my line.
Speaking. We're running out of time.
Okay. That's weird. We're running out of time for what? The voice seemed calm though, so, I don't have reason to, not trust it. There we go. What is this place?
What is all this?
That's what I'm saying!
Storage medium.
I can help you better if you show yourself.
If we could show ourselves, we would not need storage.
You mean you don't have a physical presence? Are
Okay.
you one of them? An architect?
What?
Storage medium identified. We will be lost unless we find a new host. Can you help?
Can you use my PDA for storage?
You are not with the group from before. Your cybernetic components bear their signal.
Altera? No, my equipment is, borrowed.
It will have to do.
Okay, so literally they're running out of terabytes. That, I guess that would have been something that they might have been able to solve with how advanced they are, whoever they may be. I just feel kind of weird. It's like, are you an architect? I have no idea what architect in this case scenario means.
I later reached a large room which had pedestals holding green ion cubes, so of course I snatched them all up. What's yours is mine. But now for the main hall.
How long have you been stored here?
Longer than hoped. Warning. Sanctuary power critical. Our data can be downloaded from the terminal. We may speak more once the transfer is complete.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
okay. Hurrying.
Yeah, because we have no reason to not trust whatever the heck is in that box. Sure. Yeah, I don't see what could go wrong with this at all. Insert storage medium. Okay?
Storage medium accepted. Brace for
transfer? Yeah, that's what I'm saying!
What's happening?
Bro.
transfer.
Hey, yo, am I gonna get the Omnitrix or something?
Transfer complete. How do you feel?
Why do you sound like you're inside my head?
Oh, you did not.
Identified hospitable capacity within your cerebral cortex.
You are in my head?
Bro.
I offered you my PDA! Get out!
Oh no. Does your kind perceive a boundary between cybernetic and organic components?
My mind is not a component.
You sound angry.
Yeah, a little.
We will allow you a moment to process.
Well,
Don't you go silent on me.
honestly, they're
Hello?
awfully polite.
This is not happening. That's the explanation. It's not happening.
Alright, so we got Optimus Prime in our brain. That's how I wanted to, start my day. Okay.
Day 16 came around and I am out of here. Just as I was going to leave the cave, the voices in my head started to speak again. And in short, this entity is like a mix of a ton of entities, becoming one but being multiple. I don't know, it's kind of confusing, kind of weird. But they don't perceive themselves as individuals, and it's chosen a name, that being Alan. Well, okay, who am I to judge? Alan is known as an architect, the precursor race as Robin puts it, and to get Alan out of our brain, we need to build him a new body. We get the plans loaded straight into our databank, but we have no idea what resources are needed and where to find them since he's been disconnected from the network for a very long time. The sun was rising, so before I would go home, I made another attempt to find lithium, finding only very, very few. I mean, heck, it's been easier to find diamonds, like I just went into a thermal cave and found a whole vein. Easy pickings. Also found this massive egg, biggest one thus far. Looking for lithium got me traveling around the Delta Island, and I found this floating quartz node, looking a little bit out of place, but my attention was quickly redirected to a terrifying monstrosity.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you? It's hard to tell how big it really is because I don't know how far away it is, but that's one spiky boy. Oh. Turn off the lights. I'm out. Although that is the exact direction where the pilot's last known position is, so we have to go there eventually. But not right now. Not while I have the motherload of diamonds on me. No sir, I'm good. Oh, whoa. Wait, this is the entrance that I was scared to peek out of. Yeah, this is all it was. It was just a way out. Huh. I guess there wasn't some giant nasty abomination behind this door. I thought it would still be in the cave. Okay.
With some last bits of lithium gathered, I made an attempt to scan the big ol' lobster, and turns out they're called rock punchers. This one almost got to me, I think. So with all these supplies in hand, I went on home and reinforced the base like I had planned. Day 17 had me making the rebreather that'll come in handy on those very deep dives, and a compass, so now at the top of my hood, I can know where I'm going. With some table coral gathered, I could make another computer chip, and later stumbled upon a new PDA that was all about Altera's massive ship called the Aurora that had been misplaced. Context, that's one of the ships in the first game. I did a 100 days on that one too, so you can check that one out later, my lovelies. Copper was retrieved, and with that I was about to craft something when I got interrupted. Apparently, Alan has detected an artifact 545 meters from our location, which I think will help us learn how to build his body. Now back to what I was doing. I made the vehicle upgrade console, which was built in the moon pool, and from here I can customize my sea truck, which was fittingly named Ford F-250 and painted purple with orange accents to keep it stylish. A heavy thunderstorm was going on for quite some time, so I cozied up and did some light work like adding a chair to the desk, made a thermos which was filled with coffee, and the windows were replaced that I had to take off a few days ago. And lastly, a light post to hopefully make the view from the rooms nicer. 18 flew on by, got a ton of titanium, made some platforms, and placed some grow beds to start the farm, starting with the ribbon plant seeds that I had gotten a few days ago, but I don't have enough resources for everything that I want to build, so more collecting it is.
Gotta go, that was risky. Ooh, one bite was a quarter of my health.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Perfect. Oh, double perfect. Oh,
Oxygen.
please. Oh, so close. Oh, thank goodness. Whew. That had my cheeks clenched there for a hot minute. Oh boy.
Well then, back to business. Placed a L-tube, made some enameled glass, and then went to look for lead. I had used up the bits that I had found here and there and forgot where to find this stuff. So in the meantime, I scanned this brine wing, the frizzy fish, as well as a spinnerfish, but no luck on the lead. Day 19 was another day that I wanted to read up on all the PDAs that I had found, but it wasn't that many this time all around. All that's new info is that Aurora had gone missing 18 months ago, which is the ship. It failed to check in at the scheduled date pretty much. People like investors at Altera are getting a little bit suspicious on what happened. As for the architects like Alan and our Skull, they have a preference of per se a host body that is to them very efficient, and I find it hilarious how technically they could make infinite copies of themselves with no repercussions at all, but to them that is considered rude, and basically, if one does that, they should just Alt F4 themselves. When it comes to the ion cubes that I borrowed, they each hold a power equivalent to 5 kilotons of TNT, and are likely an energy source. The only other thing in the PDA that I took note of is that making a cold suit is possible, so I'm going to look forward to warming up when I make one. Now let's just slap another T-tube onto the building to open up a new wing for rooms, and then got back to looking for lead. The journey led, no pun intended, me to this area with colorful geysers, and they are quite explosive. This biome had a ton of lithium, so I made sure to get as much of it as I could, and luckily caught myself in the nick of time.
Oh, that's the big thing. That is the big thing.
And after all that, I am very far from home, and my glide is almost out of juice. I have 1 lead on me, and that's all that I need, so thankfully I made it back in one piece and made 1 more enameled glass that let me place an observatory, this glass bubble if you will. During the night hours, I was busy refilling my food and water bars, swapped the glide's battery, and refilled my cup of joe. Day 20 it is, and I was just decorating a bit inside the observatory, as well as just general things around the main room. Got some titanium, and made a multi-purpose room that will house the bioreactor. We still have to solve our energy problems. So after an odd interaction with a sea monkey that I think brought me copper, got some seeds that turned into lubricant, and that is all that I need to place the bioreactor. It takes organic material and powers up the base. Now we are at a max power counter of 650. At night, I was just combining resources to save on storage space and fill the crops with our plucked ribbon plants. It really saves on space, since you can just take the grown ones and put them in there and they don't die. Day 21, and it's time to make the modification station, and I am out of lead yet again! Perfect, so time to hop into Ford F-250 and look for some, in the direction of the artifact Alan had detected. And once I got to the general area, I found some more man-made structures, and among them was a PDA and a scannable pathfinder tool. Seems to be able to point you out of confusing caves. Since I'm here, I tried to get to the artifact, but it was a little bit of a tight fit. But we managed, and got all the way down to the chamber with an alien-like machine. Ellen says it's more than an artifact. To summarize, it'll help follow traces of his people left on this planet. We should keep searching in hopes Alan regains connection to his network. After that, Alan becomes curious how we humans communicate without telepathy, thinks us talking is quite primitive, and doesn't fully understand the concept of needing space to think. Feels like being disconnected from the network is very quiet. Now that we're out and about again, it's time to focus on lead again, but your boy got distracted with scanning since, dear lord, them be some big ol' whales right there, aptly named glow whales, and some new creatures showed themselves like these prehistoric insect-looking things. Also, at some point my PDA said something about Molin in icebergs. Hollow chambers is what I think that means. Nearby was the geyser area, and this must be the main hunting ground for large carnivores.
What? How did that freeze? Hold on, wait. Is this my moment to scan it? Hold on. If it's frozen, this is my one opportunity to add you to my Pokedex, my guy. Oh, still very much so alive. Scan Cryptozoocus. Alright, cool. I'm out. Thank you very much. Peace.
Terrified, alone, in the dark, I repaired my truck in hopes I could survive an attack, feeling so vulnerable, man. Oddly enough, on day 22, right next to me in the darkness was a giant wreck, and a lot of thermal activity apparently. But the most interesting thing I found were around it. For example, gel sacks, a useful crafting resource from which I got 6 seeds in total to bring home. Uranite, to have a nuclear power plant eventually, and more lithium. This massive trench had my attention, but I wouldn't make it too deep in my current condition. This is when Alan notified me of another artifact location. I wonder how many of these things there are, actually. I wanted to check out the wreck, but I was running out of that sweet H2O, so I had no other choice but to take my long journey back and drink up back home, which is also when I planted the 6 gel sack seeds to get production underway. One big improvement I wanted for the base was a sea truck dock to park it once we have more trailers on it, so I did a general resource run, made sure to keep the bioreactor stocked on up, and wanted to end the day by placing the dock, but for the life of me, I couldn't get it connected to my existing structure. It took up the rest of the afternoon and evening just trying to find a sweet spot for it. 23 was incredibly rough. The build was an absolute mess trying to get this hooked up, and once I did, everything began to break. So, repaired it all anew, restocked supplies for the billionth time since I keep running out, and finally finished the dock expansion in a very impractical way, but it'll do for now. By now, it was already night. It was first the next day, where with this ladder I could from within access the new section, and in the spirit of building, got to make a modification station that I wanted so long ago. In here are 2 more sea truck depth upgrades, and 1 for a thermal blade, which I made since this can cook fishes upon slashing them. Easy food on the go. Next up, I made sure to make 4 batteries so I can have an easy cycle going for the charging station, and collected more seeds from the gel sacks that had fully grown already, allowing me to expand the crops even further. Now is first when I docked the truck into the dock, thinking here I could add more trailers to it, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We might have to find some more scannable items to make them, and going deeper is a likely way to find new parts to scan, but the next depth module needs synthetic fibers, which needs rubies, and spiral plant clippings, which I have yet to come across to my knowledge. So while I was thinking on what to do, I restocked the food supply as well as table coral, much to the excitement of the sharks. 25 was really relaxing, just added a bedroom since it's been way too long since Robin here has had a good night's sleep, so I made it all nice with an aquarium, a fancy bed, jukebox, speakers, plants, shelves, a trash can, benches, counters, as well as posters. That seems like it went by fast, but in reality it took really long to get all the supplies in between placing the furniture, so I hunkered down for a lengthy sleep. And upon waking on day 26, Alan spoke to us that he is highly confused on what the heck dreams are since he's witnessed them, which Robin tries to explain, but I'm not sure if he grasps the concept. Some fishes were yoinked out of their natural habitat and forced to live for all of eternity in my bedroom. Y'all best start getting along there, little buddies. Sacks were coming along great, should have a full patch very soon, so as usual I was getting resources, but this time stumbled upon a nearby trench that I had not seen yet, and this might be the deepest one thus far. Had a PDA in there too. Sadly, I was so focused on this find that I forgot how deep I was as I found it, and to top it all off, my Sea Glide battery ran out, so in a panic, I tried to swap batteries on my tools to get it powered up, but in my frantic state, I succumbed to oxygen deficiency. But it's not too bad, you just kind of respawn at base, and I don't think there's any negative repercussions. But this is where Alan said he found a new artifact location. That's two we still need to find as it stands. Catching up on some PDA info, Fred's troubles with the trucks had been caused by sea monkeys, which he's aptly called raccoons of the sea. And as for the PDA in the trench we just got, that was also from Fred. And by the sounds of things, he barely made it out of that trench alive. He had some cargo with him that he had to ditch in order to not get swallowed whole by some predator down there. Needless to say, his boss Emmanuel won't be happy about the lost cargo. To end the day, I added one more locker for storage, and for once, actually plucked a gel sack from the crop, unlocking me more crafting recipes. Curious to see if I missed anything on the crash site, I wanted to hop on land on day 27 and immediately had to bail since dangerous weather pulled over, which I think can hurt me from the hail or something like that, so we'll be back. For now, time to check out the new trench with the truck. Finding it wasn't too hard, so down we go to an area covered in roots, likely originating from the coral tentacle things all over the place on the surface. A bonus to this place is there are easy diamonds here. I feel like lead so far has been harder to get than this stuff. Further below, I spotted a new creature, a large squid that causes terrible roars that likely is what Fred was talking about that he had to escape from. Since I'm in a new biome, I began to scan everything and anything, making sure not to get too close to the squid shark things, and managed to scan a part for the sea truck, which is a fabricator module. Sounds like a trailer to add to it. This place does go past 300 meters, so I can't fully explore it just yet, but I did manage to complete the scan for this new module, and with danger lurking around every corner, I was quick to rise from the depths and return back home. For the new module, I'm going to need plasteel, a chip, and 3 accursed lead. Of all the things I'm missing, 1 lead to be specific. So close, yet so far. This required another outing for the 1 remaining, which I thankfully found. So on day 28, the module could be made. It looks like a box that I can move when pushing it, and it clicks to the back of the sea truck in a very satisfying way. Inside of it is a small locker and a fabricator, which will be very helpful on my travels. Sadly, I can't add any more lockers myself, but oh well, that's fine. Now would be the perfect time to head on land since there is no more danger storms, so I grabbed my coffee and made landfall at the first beach that we got to, and after a little bit of a stroll, reached the crash site. Surprised that the space Bugatti is still burning, but okay. And all I found was a few more basic items, nothing really of significance. As I went back to F250, I knew the one key item to progress would be the plant clippings to make the next step module, so that is my new objective. And on the search, I found copper nodes. I'm going to need myself a drill to make use of these resource-rich boulders. On my way in search of the clippings into the direction of one of the artifacts, I came to this desolate area with very little life.
An active volcano detected nearby.
Yeah, well, there's something else that's highly active nearby. I think that's a little bit more of our concern. Of course the artifact has to be under whatever the heck that is. Oh. Yeah, you do what you gotta do, but what the heck is this? These floating islands? I got the big whales here too. Just big chillin'. Okay. Oh, is that a seahorse? Yo, that's pretty neat. Are you mad? I don't think he's mad.
Nighttime was setting in quickly, but I wanted to explore these massive lilies that float on the surface of the ocean. Sure, they do feel a little bit out of place, but I couldn't resist wanting to walk on them. But of course, danger weather foiled my plans yet again. The next day, I was alerted to a large rock nearby that is a point of interest.
There is a large anomalous mass of rock that has broken away and risen above the surrounding terrain.
Big rock. Got it.
Considering this is a new biome, the trail of new things to scan into my database led me to spot a building with the Omega symbol. Omega Lab it must be, I thought, and this place is busted, and eerie noises were a constant during my stay here. Some things I unlocked outside was plans for swim charge fins and a type of acid. Plus these grow beds here had new seeds to collect. And yes, the sign here confirms my suspicions on what this place is. Heading inside, it is clear that it's been abandoned for a while, and there were 2 designated living quarters that I could find. The first being of Danielle Valenti, and inside was a picture of who I think is Danielle and definitely Sam. So I conclude they were the ones mentioned when seeing someone was brought up in the logs. More furniture was up for scan, so I got it all, of course, and the next room was that of someone named Vin, who left some PDAs behind. Across from the rooms was a garden of sorts where I learned the plans for a water filtration system, and that for a control room, and this glass dome for a multipurpose room, and a heavy door. The main room of the site was an utter mess. One of the PDAs mentioned enzyme mutation, which makes sense. They redirected funds to this lab to work on the coronavirus that they found. A power cell charger was learned, as well as this nuclear reactor that seems to be part of the cause of this building's state. That is all I could find, so as I hopped into the truck to leave, I got communication from Alan, who thinks this place was sabotaged intentionally, possibly that Sam destroyed it, even though it is very unlike her. Pathways in the area led out to the open sea again, where I found a newtfish, best name, absolutely, hands down, that is not up for debate, and some dead lilies with way too many squids for my own comfort. On day 30, I figured this is prime time to read on more info to figure out what the heck had been going on here, and some things start to make sense, so here we go. A person named Alexis was here, who is an independent investigator that reports to Altera. Alexis states that the lab was breached with a heavy impact from a sea truck with like a battering ram attachment or something. Right after, a localized charge was detonated from a distance. All equipment got busted, and all live specimens for the Kara research are no more. Luckily, the personnel is safe, and unlikely that the bacteria got out. As we know, Danielle lived here and was the boss of this laboratory as a biochemist that reports to Emmanuel. Vin, also a biochemist, worked here but reports to Danielle, hence why I think Danielle was in charge for sure here. Danielle reported on the enzyme mutation, talking about rapid multiplication, several mutations, and could have significant life-saving treatment possibilities. And, well, the coronavirus was retrieved from pustules from the Leviathan that they found. Anything gotten from pustules it can't be good. The PDA in Vin's room shows a convo between him and Sam, where Vin slips up, and that way Sam figures out that they are mutating the Kara bacteria here, which seems to have ticked Sam off. This must have been what Sam was talking about, that something bad was going on. Maybe this also resulted in some stresses between her and Danielle, since Danielle is in charge of it. I guess, we may never know. After all that reading, I managed to find 2 scannable items that I didn't manage to complete at the moment, but one is an ultra-high capacity tank and a sea truck horsepower upgrade. This area had my focus on other matters though, like all its rubies and nickel, a new ore that seems to be very rare, so I was sure to leave a beacon here labeled accordingly, but this place wouldn't be looted so easily.
No, thank you. Oh, you cheeky little. Oh! No. No. Get off me. Get off me. Oh, man. I was so certain that I could just scan you, but no. You have to be like that. Okay, I'm gone. Thank you.
This place has scannable hive minds that sound incredibly ominous, but yeah, let's not worry about that, for we have 3 nickel and lots of rubies, so it is time to deposit this find. Which was done successfully in the early hours of day 31, after which I placed some more decor and added an arrow ray to the tank. There's lots of new building pieces to create, so first up is the control room, popping out from the main multi-purpose room of the base. From here I can check all power levels, any damages, but most importantly, paint the base in the same colors as F-250 and name it the Crow Nest. Not to toot my own horn, but that is one fine looking mansion. No control room is complete without a window, so that was added as well. After messing around with the hologram for a while since it's pretty, I got to adding a bulkhead door to the reactor wing to add more structural integrity overall and sort of divide power generation away from the other sectors. The next day, I designated the moon pool as the new storage area, although temporarily. As the first multi-purpose room that we made, I want to keep as a crafting station along with any food production. With tons of more titanium gathered, I got to make a new room next to the one with the bioreactor. Had to remove some unnecessary pieces, but this is all to make room for our upcoming nuclear reactor. To complete it, I needed even more lead, and I had the worst luck finding it for so long until I finally decided to use the mineral detector and immediately solved that issue. Found lead super fast this way. This allowed me to, within my reactor wing, place the nuclear reactor on day 33, boosting our max power to a whopping 3,150, but it needs rods to power it, of which I could make one. I'm going to need more uraninite to complete a set of 4, but this will power the base up for now quite well, and this is more reason to seal this area off for now. I was getting resources for a scanner room, which is when I found 2 more PDAs lying around, but never mind that, the scanner room was completed, attached to the moon pool. This room will help me scan for resources in the area.
A scanner room will allow you to survey the surrounding region for fragments and material resources like lithium or copper or titanium if you need help finding it, for whatever reason.
What's that supposed to mean?
This base has a hologram map in the middle and has its own fabricator for some upgrades to make the scans more efficient. But for now, I redirected my focus to a new room since I wanted to place a water filter for easy water and salt production. To get that done, I whipped up some aerogel thanks to the gel sacks that we have growing in the grow beds, and there we go. Time to place the filter, but I noticed it's not that big. It can fit in the bioreactor room, so that's where I placed it and ended up removing the new room since it was a useless addition to the base. After so much building, I needed to do some exploring on day 34 to see if I could find a new biome.
Oh, that thing is massive! Did that actually kill one of the Zookas thingies? Bro, it actually slayed it, bro. I wonder what happens if I slash it with my knife. Like, if I get something... No? Okay, well, that's good. That's satisfying. That's all I needed to know. Thank you for clarifying.
A sunken volcano was found, but it would be other things that would find me.
Oh, no, get him! No, don't even, get him! Oh, okay, we're at 62. That's a squid. Okay, go. Full send it. Oh my gosh. I thought I was in the clear there, but, it pointed me in the direction of the wreckage where I wanted to go, so that's cool.
The escape landed me back at that one wreck that we found a while back. This place seems safe enough to do some repairs after such a thrashing. I did find an entrance to the wreck, but the only things that I could find were basic supplies and things to open with a laser cutter, which I never fully learned how to make. However, it was as if I was rewarded for my heightened levels of fears of today, as I found the holy grail of my adventure, which was hidden in plain sight this whole time.
No way. I was here this whole time. Bro, that's all I needed? Well, okay, mission accomplished, sort of, I suppose.
The nearby trench had uraninite and I needed more for the rods, so I got some of that and descended to check out some more, and hello! That's a scannable sea truck docking piece, so I'm going to hang around here for a bit to get them all. A new alien structure was uncovered, but it'll be just past 300 meters, so we'll have to come back for it at another date with a better depth upgrade. At night, I got a second of 3 scans of the new truck module. Day 35 came around, and the last scan is in sight.
Oh, hey buddy. Hi.
Man, this monstrosity is camping the spot. It is insane, but I didn't give up. I was dead set on getting this scan done. I just gotta be sneaky. Also, found an egg that wiggles. Do they all wiggle? I'm not sure. Either way, back to the scan.
There's nothing. Okay, there's the spiral plants that I spotted. And it is super close. It's getting closer. Oh wait, okay, there it comes! Here it comes! No! I can hear it! I don't know where I'm going! Oh. Are we good? Wait a minute, this is my beacon! What? Now wait a darn second, how is this place connected to that? I thought I was on the other side of the planet compared to this one. What? I am so confused.
Well, at least this landed me at some horsepower scans for the truck, so that's a plus. But about that scan,
at this point, I don't know what to do. You're camping that one piece. This is it. This is it. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Oh, we're good. Oh, there it is.
Since I'm here, I might as well grab more nickel since it's so hard to come by, and then follow the light-sick path, which again would lead me past 300 meters. That does it. I have the clippings for the Tier 2 depth mod, so I'm going home, past all of the savage beasts in the ocean, and arrived home quite upbeat. I had forgotten that there are these new seeds that I got from the Omega Lab grow beds, and they were in the trunk this whole time, so I planted them first off, and added a new red feather fish to the tank that I got on this outing, and made the synthetic fibers we have been wanting so badly. And after a bit more component crafting on day 36, got the depth mod 2 made. The level 3 is going to need crystals called kyanite, and I have no idea where to get that, so we'll deal with that later. For now, we have a new max depth of 650 meters in the truck, so that'll be solid to progress with helping Alan. And since we're on the topic of the truck, I could make the new module for it that we risked so much to learn. So after a while of getting everything together for it, got it crafted, and immediately hooked up to the trailers. But it seems this piece is for the butt end. I can't really figure out what to do with it since, well, I have nothing to dock into it. Up next is the horsepower mod that we also recently learned. The truck could use a boost, so with some more preparations completed, got it made and shoved into the mod box. And I think it's faster, but I'm not really sure, ain't gonna lie. That was a very good day, lots of progress made, so as the sun began to set, I decided to get some well-deserved shut-eye. We all deserve some really good beauty sleep, and that right there hit the spot. Relaxed, I decided that day 37 would be good to catch up on some new PDAs that we found. It ain't much, but in short, I think Emmanuel is suspicious of Fred, since Fred's been doing a lot of favors for friends with the cargo truck. Fred tried to dodge the accusation by saying the trips were work-related, bringing something underwater for someone named Lil, the person who initially contacted us in the first PDA that Sam had passed away, but Emmanuel says Lil is working on land, which makes Fred's lie fall apart. He ain't in trouble, but must cease the favors for friends. I wonder if Fred and Sam are working together to stop this whole operation, since it's becoming very clear that Sam is trying to stop the use of the bacteria, and Fred was the first to find it, and they are friends, so maybe they're working together. I got some big water bottles from the filter and set out to the nearby deep chasm where we found Fred's PDA about a monster attacking him. Maybe he was bringing stuff down there. After sneaking past the squids, I reached Diamond Heaven, absolutely thrilled. I got so much, and not just that, finished scanning a storage module for the sea truck, which was the first module that I thought that I would be getting for the vehicle in the first place, so this is perfect. All day was spent down here scouring the place for anything Fred might have left behind, but no dice. And since I'm out and about, day 38 seemed like a good a day as any to get to the next artifact location, and based on the coordinates, I assumed it would be down the man-made shaft that we had found, but the sea truck is having issues fitting into the cracks like before, maybe due to the attachments, I don't know. So I did some swimming and got to one, which is when Alan said his connection to the network is growing stronger.
But that wasn't even the one that was marked. I didn't even try and find this one. What? Well, if it helps him out, then that's all that matters.
What's cool is that upon scanning this device, I learned a new blueprint for a quantum locker. Sounds really high-tech, especially since it's scanned from an artifact. Later in the day, my travels led me to a new wreck, that of the Mercury 2. Inside, I completed the scans for the laser cutter, which is exactly what I needed to uncover more of the two wrecks that we found so far. But what's this? A tree of sorts right outside. And upon further inspection, this is like a new sunken biome, and it goes incredibly deep. So much space is the perfect environment for large creatures.
What in the heck is that? For a moment I thought that was a base, but now I think that's just a massive jellyfish. Oh, that's one of the big boys. Okay. Oh, that's two of the big boys.
It is, in fact, a jellyfish of sorts, as further up was a juvenile. Turns out they're called vent gardens for some reason. Maybe they feed off of the nearby geysers and vents. That kind of would be very self-explanatory. It was first under the darkness of night that I found the half-open gate to the man-made shaft. But even here, the truck won't fit no matter how hard I tried. So I hopped out and had a peek without the safety of my vehicle. It's quite the drop, so I tried to make it snappy. This place definitely is a mine based on the machinery, but what I did manage to scan down here was plans for a thermal plant. But time to skedaddle, I'm about to suffocate. It was only thanks to this oxygen plant here that I lived, and I really need an ultra high capacity tank. The day had passed as I made another attempt to see what's all the way down there. Very cautious of my oxygen since I used the one oxygen plant already. Glad I did come back though, since I got my first out of 4 scans for the prawn suit. Basically, a mech. The PDAs down here will surely help me figure out what they were precisely doing down here, but it's evident that this place is abandoned. But that's about as far as my oxygen will take me, so back into the truck I go, and detach the front end hoping it would fit through this way, but I kinda got stuck in a glitch. The lights turn on just fine, but I can't leave the truck and everything is in slow-mo. So I had to save and log back in, which did solve the issue. Hope that helps some of you if you encounter that problem. This place is labeled as copper mining site, so my hunch was correct, but I didn't give up on getting the whole truck into the shaft like we did the first time. So luckily I did find the cracks where we got in the first time, and actually managed to bring the whole truck inside. Perfect. So now I have as much oxygen as I want to explore, as long as my power doesn't run out. This is fantastic since I quickly got 2 more suit scans, as well as one for the drill arm, which should let me harvest those big nodes that we've been seeing. Also, a new fish, a 3-eyed fish called a triops. You shall be added to my collection. With the PDA of this sector looted, it was time to move on, reaching a split path where first I decided to check out the left tunnel, where I completed the scans for the drill arm. The tunnel opened up to a large cave, and in the middle of which was an alien statue, likely resembling what the architects look like. This prompted Alan to say he's located a body component, which is fantastic. That is a step in the right direction for once. As I was busy getting spiky alien eggs and about to continue on, Alan essentially is talking in a very polite way, but very confused, about how inferior our body structure is. Like, the ball socket joints are quite primitive, but approves of the opposable thumbs, so we got that going for us. Although he does mention that being able to be reborn is of the highest importance, and all of this was very much to the frustration of Robin. The next path also had a large cave at the end, likely the most recent mining section. Here's where I completed the prawn suit scan, so it's time to make us a mech, my lovelies. By now day 40 came around, and it's time to swivel out of this mine, up the shaft, out the crack, and back into the open sea. Back at base, the truck got docked to power up and repair while I made the laser cutter that we recently fully learned. The quantum locker sounds impressive. Basically, a storage unit that shares its loot to every other quantum locker. This could help quite a bit in transport, but for now I was focused on making the prawn suit. So I hunted some lead, and upon my return was kind of glitched out of my building. Access denied apparently. Even relogging didn't fix it, so I hopped in through the moon pool to continue my work, where after a bit of crafting, made the prawn suit. This bad boy is gonna get us so many resources. So to get her up and running, got it docked into the moon pool, painted it my colors, and named it Jarvis. Not the most creative name, but I don't know, the voice kind of reminded me of Jarvis, and I like the name a lot. Context, one of my favorite Pokemon is Metagross, and I always name it Jarvis. The very next day, the drill arm was crafted and attached to Jarvis, and also let's just whip up the storage module for him. He's carrying a drill arm, so adding this just kind of makes sense. While we're at it, just crafted a few more items, and presto, the depth module one for Jarvis is made. This buffs the depth resistance of this bad boy to 700 meters. Very impressive. We are on fire with progressing today, so after a bit more gathering was done, got to make the truck storage module. Click that sucker on to the conga line, and wow, this is so much more storage space. Combined with Jarvis, we can make quite some hauls now. The antenna plants got reseeded to make some more, and now it is time to catch some Z's. What a productive day. Let's keep the momentum up on day 42 with this glass dome roof on the bedroom. Makes this feel so much more spacious. Plus, let's add a desk since the old one got removed to make room for the command room. Some more work was done to finish off what I wanted to do a while back, which was to make more reactor rods. That's our second one slotted into the system. Never gonna run out of power again. This vending machine in the crafting room just kind of fits, so that's one more thing placed today. And it's nighttime already, and I can tell by just looking up from my bed. It's incredibly beautiful. With all that production done and dusted, it is time to get the alien body cache on day 43. Seems like we'll find it in the green lily biome, down some treacherous drop-offs, and well, quite a lot of them. It goes quite deep, and it's pretty tight. What I found though was an artifact by mere coincidence. At least it helps Alan gain connection to the network, somehow through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, whatever the means may be. The artifact that I am hunting is in the area, but quite a ways down still, so once I scanned this artifact and unlocked the recyclotron, it was time to head further below than ever before, landing me in range of information to make Alan's new body. This place had tons of uraninite, so I made sure to stock up since it's quite rare, and once I got to the bottom, it became clear that this is a new ecosystem, all red and oddly relaxed, so I added all the info of the area to the database, and it has these flower spores that can be used to make benzene, as well as cotton anemone needed in a few crafting recipes. I got a few to plant back home. Sadly, there are these tentacles here that, sure, they do startle me every single time, but I think I'll live. But I'm still not deep enough, so I was scanning the area and found new bizarre eggs. I have quite a few by now, and once I get to hatch them, it'll be like playing bingo. But hello! Day 44 had me finding our first piece of magnetite. So glad I came across this stuff, it felt super rare. Might want to make a base here for further extraction in the future. I found a way down that led me to an architect gateway, through which I hopped, and what greeted me was a serene garden. Only thing ruining the vibe is this lifeless corpse, which was scanned to learn one of the 3 architect components for the body. This place, Alan says, was a place to reflect, as for their kind's life became uncertain due to the Carabacterium. The body part we learned to make was the skeleton. Honestly, shouldn't be too hard to make. But since I'm here, I'm going to grab as much magnetite as I can, which still wasn't all that much. So I also grabbed any of the other new materials from here since, well, we have the storage space, which was filled to the brim. Since I'm quite fond of the vibe here, I made sure to leave a beacon here labeled Red Base. I'll be back to claim this as my property. With some new fancy fishes in my pocket, I went down home on day 45. The trip was long, but we did arrive safely, and unloading the truck took its sweet time. First off, I planted the cotton anemones to free up some space, and then I added more storage units. Eventually, I did get around to hauling everything from the truck to the new storage boxes, so it is time now for a base upgrade in the form of scanner room upgrades, like this one for the range, as well as that for the speed. Obviously, I had to work in between to get it made, but I also found the time to make the hood chip, as well as a camera drone. The chip slots into your gear to help you see what the room scans in the area, and the drone, assume it's precisely what it is labeled to be as. The next day, I fiddled with making a second scanner size upgrade, and I think it makes the area larger? Does it? I'm not sure. The Subnautica pros probably know. As I flimsily crafted benzene, I began to notice how the visual HUD overlay works with the scanner. Should be really helpful. Later on, I mixed up a glass of hydrochloric acid and then polyaniline. This is needed for the body for Alan. I was out for lithium to get the other pieces made, so I was getting some of that and just barely survived an attack from the cryptozookuses. Man, they are common, but always scary. Once I had my fill, it was time to return. And does the map feel smaller to anyone else compared to the first game, or is it just me? I don't know, I remember the other one being much larger, but wow, yeah, galena stones for lead is evidently a non-issue to find with this chip. I feel like I've been blind this whole time. Now with all the supplies made, I wanted to make the architect skeleton, but can't craft it here. 47 was the day where I would head out to a new artifact to keep the ball rolling. This one brought me to the volcano, right under this big boy. I want to call them shrimps, but their size doesn't do the name justice. I hugged the floor and made it in, where Alan described another location, which sounds to me like it is on land. Alan continues his curiosity in humans, confused how we cope with losing memories, especially since when humans die, some information is lost to the next generation. Robin essentially says it kinda is what it is, we just kinda deal with it. Just gotta make your own memories. The structure had 2 ion cubes that I yoinked, along with diamonds and rubies that covered the volcano's insides. So now it is time to leave, with the big boy hunting overhead. Hugging the floor seemed to do the trick again, since it wasn't alerted to my location, making it home safely. For the remainder of the day, I was just getting some more lead. The moon was shining brightly, welcoming in day 48, and I'm pretty close to the first artifact where I left the beacon, so I swam down there to scan it, hoping for a new blueprint, but nothing. Well, that was a colossal waste of time. So I went home to finish up some business, just general stuff around the base, and I just find it funny how the chip dispenser is infinite, conjuring them out of nothingness. This could solve world hunger. Now for a few PDAs. About the mining site where we learned the prawn suit, Parvin worked there, one of the people Sam knew. Parvin speaks with Fred, who brought some cargo down here for Lillian, some measuring equipment it was. Parvin doesn't really know why it is sent here, but doesn't really care too much, to be honest. See, Fred sounds super excited that the scientists might find something important down here, likely the architects, since we did find that one statue down there. But Parvin isn't the biggest fan of all the scientists leading the operations, as he feels like the workers here aren't cared about. Later, I just added more decor to the base, placed some power transmitters, and added floodlights to the front yard to improve the view at night. I decided that day 49 would be spent doing an extensive resource run with Jarvis hooked up to the back end of F-250 and stocked up on food and water for the trip. As I was looking for some resource nodes to harvest with drill arm, I found this clearing that seems to be a new area, so I hopped on land and after a short stroll spotted a base through the fog. There was this snowman too, and he got annihilated. As the fog cleared, I approached the abandoned building. I saw a strange symbol that I'm not sure what it correlates to. Here I was able to scan the large room, which I'm excited to make, but let's see what's inside, shall we? Ellen says the researchers here were trying to find him, so this is an architect research base, and this PDA confirms this to be Station 0. Also, what in the heck is going on? Motivational posters in this day and age are considered contraband. What bleak future is this? Holy moly. A picture of Sam's cat Potato is here, and a PDA of Sam, as well as one from Lillian, so seems like they both worked here together. Alan says that Lillian wanted to know too much about the architects and could not let her since she worked for Altera. She might have discovered the gateway to the architect's home world and didn't want to risk them figuring that out. There was an indoor garden, so I scanned the indoor grow beds, picked the lantern fruits to grow myself later on, and of the bedrooms I went through, there was one for Sam, so we'll check that first. Not too much in here, to be honest, so time to go through Lillian's room, but not much in here either. I was going to check out the other structures at night, but danger weather approached. So, time to hunker down and get cozy, because it's going to be a frigid long night. So, day 50, and I am snowed in, so let's have a read on these new PDAs. Lillian, a xenobiologist who reports to Emmanuel, is working on maintenance and architect intelligence. Samantha is in robotics, also reports to Emmanuel, and is assigned to maintenance as well. Lillian wants to awaken architect tech, but can't get into the sanctuaries, and thinks that she'll need organic components to make this all happen. Seems like exactly what we are doing right now. Also, she has kids. A call with them confirms her project was cancelled and was placed here in Station 0 with not much work to do, just cataloging stuff. She did follow a distress signal, but it vanished as she got closer, so failed to track it down completely. Seems to be the same SOS beacon that we followed. Sam got management upset, likely for speaking against working on the Carabacteria is what I'm assuming, and got stationed here too. I feel like the people that Altera gets upset with, they just punish by sending them here to do boring stuff. A log between Sam, Lil, and her kids gives us a bit of info into that Sam wants to take care, air quotes, of the bacteria, and Lil is on her side. A brief mention in the Station 0 PDA mentioned life flourished in the area, which is a hub for architect tech, due to the release of Enzyme 42 into the larger ecosystem. The PDA named No Turning Back from Sam shows clearly that Sam plans to neutralize the Kara, and doing so will likely be a death sentence. And yes, she did fight with Danielle about this, and they haven't spoken since. Someone named Zeta would handle it, but apparently didn't, and Lil begged to just drop all of it. Sam's made up her mind, doesn't care about the good standing with Altera, and synthesized an antibacterial agent. some of which was stashed in Pengling research caves southeast of the Leviathan, so now we have to find out where that thing is. Out and about now, as the storm had cleared, I went through a long path leading me to a cave. Inside was a massive alien structure. The force field of said structure opened up, allowing me entry. Alan says this place was for rapid travel, but without an architect vessel, it's not of much use. But this here in the back definitely looks like a gateway. Maybe this is where one could travel to their homeworld, which Alan wanted to avoid. I left at night since there was nothing else for us there, and after a freezing trek through the snow, reached the safety of my truck, where Alan asks us if this is where Sam worked her final days, which is a yes, most likely, and Robin says she must have been miserable here with nothing to do, and Alan says that Altera motivated him to change his behavior since he didn't trust their intentions, hence why when Lil was tracking the distress signal, it disappeared as Alan detected that she was from Altera. Now with Outpost Zero cleared, it's time to do what I actually wanted to do, which is the resource trip. Got some quartz with Jarvis, as well as quite a few nodes of copper, some of titanium, and so on, filling up the entire truck as well as Jarvis's inventory completely, leaving just enough time to dock the truck back home. This let me make 2 plasteel ingots the next day that we needed for a large room that we just learned, which was placed near the vertical connector to the dock since this room will be the main storage hub, so it's the closest I could get it to where the truck's going to be. This space got 2 indoor grow beds, each growing some lantern fruit that I got from Station 0, and up next were 2 bulkhead doors just scattered throughout the base since my structural integrity had been getting quite low. The rest of the time was spent placing brand new lockers along the wall, hoping I can start organizing my supplies this way. And on day 53, I decided since the material will be here, it just makes sense to add a fabricator, plus some decorations here and there like the posters. Moving my supplies from the moon pool to the large room took its sweet time, and I did free up some space by putting dupe eggs that I had into the bioreactor. My base is literally running on omelets, but back to the task at hand. The modification station was brought on over here since, well, all the crafting is going to happen here, so it just kind of makes sense to put it here as well. The first room that we made will as of now just be the lounge with infinite coffee and chips. Since I got so much copper from the nodes, I began to refine them into copper wire, of which I'm going to need even more than all of these for something that I want to build yet in this adventure. 54 flew by super fast since after adding some windows to the large room to observe the shallows from within, it was time for a second resource run. Got some more quartz, had tons of titanium, which is a relief since I still got tons of stuff I want to build. I did at the end of the day enter an ecological dead zone, and my chances of survival drastically plummeted, so no thank you. I will see myself out, thank you very much. With quite a bit of supplies in tow, I made a long journey in the morning of day 55. I wanted to bring this stuff to the red base location that I had marked, but on the way I got quite close to the pilot's last location, the one in the prawn suit on Delta Island that we saw so long ago. I got the marker, but there's nothing here. Might have gone even deeper, and I need to find where that person is currently. This area was filled with new scans, so in total got an exosuit thermal reactor module completed, and also completed the ultra high capacity tank plans. Flippin' finally, so relieved. Also, not completed, but I did get one scan for a sea truck afterburner upgrade. After encountering a squid that chased me off from the area, I got to another site with scans, completing an aquarium module for the truck. It was first at around midnight when I reached the red base location, where for now I placed a multi-purpose room with a hatch that I forgot stuff to actually power this thing. Since the area had a gold node, might as well get that collected since I've been running a bit low, and on my way home got more supplies as I stumbled upon an artifact location. It's the one I already got in the volcano, so not sure why the marker is still actively pinging green, but nothing happened here no matter what I tried, so I skedaddled on out, got nibbled on by Mr. Big Boy here. That scare right there made me repair the truck in a flash, and hello, that's a ton of titanium nodes that I'm going to need, so they all got collected and brought back home at day's end. So might as well take the time the next morning to make the ultra high capacity tank that I've been dying to get, and about that aquarium module for the truck, should be quite easy to prepare, so after some unloading from the truck, as well as some crafting, got the new module built. I do want the docking module at the back, so I placed the aquarium module in front of it. This bad boy is getting incredibly long, and I'm pretty sure that there are still more modules to unlock yet. Now would you look at that, it's already working. We got some fishes in the aquarium. I think it just gets them when the fish just randomly swim against it, so I don't know, we have a portable sushi bar, I guess. 2 plasteel ingots were fabricated for the red base. The grow beds got more seeds added to them to fill them up completely. The bioreactor was deconstructed so I can make it again at the new base for power, since I doubt solar will work all the way down there. And some other details were prepared, like glass for some windows. We left the crow's nest, swam across the seas to get to the red site, and on the way got all scans for a truck sleeper module and more spiral clippings, but while I was getting this stuff, a big boy came to have me as a snack.
Oh, shh. Oh, shh.
So I panicked. I darted to what I thought was safety.
Into the hole the caterpillar goes. Holy shh. That was close.
In this hole, I got a blueprint for a booster tank. Thanks for pointing me in the right direction, I guess. But just cause the day passed, that doesn't mean that the threat has. The beast was using all of its might to try and reach me, one-shotting a Cryptozoocus in its frenzy. That seemed to have calmed its bloodlust as it swam off, so I carefully made my way on out, but as it roared, I realized it was just waiting for me to come to it.
Stop!
Needless to say, I floored it to get on out of there, and this escape landed me at the first wreck that we had found. And I remember there was an alien structure down there, so approaching it, it prompted Alan to be able to trace the imprint of his people, whose presence has become faint. Scanning the architect fossil extractor got me the blueprint for an ion battery, and the structure had a single ion cube, which I took for safekeeping. Now back to setting up Red Base. Took a few detours here and there, but better late than ever. One thing I learned though was that I think the squids electrocute you, which solves your vehicle, but it's not too bad. The base got set up, first up with the bioreactor inside, and thanks to that there are so many cotton anemones here, fueling it will be super easy. 2 reinforcements were added, since I also added some windows, so it balances out. This place is magnificent. The only drawback is the flippant seahorses that keep putting me into a trance against my will. I arrived back at the crow nest next morning, worked on the large room here for a bit, and directed my focus at the recently learned sleeper module for the truck. So you know the drill, craft a few components, and there she be, plopped into the water and slapped onto our conga line of modules. Man, Jarvis is peeking out of the tube. We might be pushing the limits here since the truck is getting harder and harder to manage. I took a screenshot of the crow nest and uploaded it to the sleeper module screen so I have something nice to look at as I nap in this drop-down bed. Even got some tunes on my ride now with this jukebox. The next installment for Red Base would be a sea truck dock since I want a power-up station out there. It would save me time from coming back home all the time. So after just a tiny bit of preparations, had all of the things needed to make one over there. Day 60 showed up and I was taking some lantern fruit along for Red Base and lots of copper wire that we made from our resource run. So, a little bit of hocus pocus and we are back at Red Base, safe and sound, where some tube extensions were added on the side, which allowed for the placement of the sea truck dock. The inside of the base needed some improvements, so a red bed was placed in a corner, quite fittingly, and some grow beds for the lantern fruit so I have easy fruit and more biomaterial for power. Lastly, all the copper wire was turned into as many nameplates as I could to line the walls, which took quite some time. At least I can hit the hay here comfortably in the new bed. Before I could hit the record button on day 61, Alan had gotten a new artifact location. Just a little heads up for you there. I hadn't given up on finding the location of the prawn suit pilot, but I just kept getting distracted, man. Got 1 of 2 grappling arms scanned for Jarvis, and then came across the bow end of the Mercury 2. Some of the parts are even lifted off the ground by the roots of the lily pads, which is astounding to see. Inside, these roots provided some pretty illumination, and there was some decent loot like reactor rods, some batteries, and 1 piece of synthetic fiber, save some spiral clippings there. And yes, the laser cutter came in handy to open more boxes and look around. Got my hands on some potato seeds for our farms, and of course more PDAs to analyze. A highlight of this dive was that I learned the reinforced dive suit plans. Should be quite sturdy, this thing. An artifact was nearby, so I dodged around so many squids and faded from green water to blue. And down this drop-off I go, deep down, arriving at a ginormous vent garden, so maybe some big boy shrimps are nearby. The artifact seems to be under the vent garden, and I get notified that temperatures further down are quite high. Big Papa Garden was scanned, and we became best buddies since I feel safe around him. Now to get to our goal. I had to leave the truck behind since it just won't fit. Carefully, I peeked into the cavern below, and the coast is clear and filled with high-value resources. Alan progressed with his connection to the network thingamastuff, so that's something. Not a body part recipe, but something, I guess. A bright idea entered my cranium on day 62, which had me gathering titanium under... The vent garden needs a name, since we're friends now. It does look like a jellyfish to me, so we'll go with Jeremiah. Jeremiah the jellyfish. Yeah, we got titanium under Jeremiah and diamonds from the cracks below. And since I got synthetic fibers in that last wreck, I could manage to make the reinforced dive suit right here in the truck. This will up my defenses and thermal resistance. Having finished up here, I wanted to go and find the pilot again, but the overgrown crustacean worms were blocking my path. So I did the old reliable maneuver of hugging the floor, maybe a little bit too much, because I ended up going down a hole with lava at the bottom. And yes, I have to constantly repair the truck, as I keep getting caught on anything and everything because it is so long. At the bottom, there was an abandoned worksite with PDAs of, you guessed it, spoiler warning here, skipped like, I don't know, 5 seconds ahead, Marguerite of the first game, the pilot. We'll read up on that once we're safe though. I had to leave eventually, so I snuck out of the hidey hole, but just couldn't avoid getting munched by big ol' ugly here. But we will live. We can definitely tank one hit at a time. At the last known location, I searched deeper and deeper until I decided it has to be at this light stick path. It has to be. Where else is it gonna be? There's a squid in this hole, but you know what? F you, Squidward. What are you gonna do, solo me? I didn't think so. And guess what? My hunch was correct.
Didn't I tell you to stay away?
I knew you were down here!
I don't even know who you are.
Marguerite Maida's the name. You're on my turf.
Great. Can I come in and warm up?
What part of go away do you not understand, Altera?
I'm not with Altera.
Well, well, well. Somebody thought they were sneaky. It only took me like 60 days to find you, but here we are.
One thing immediately stood out to scan, which was the large room glass ceiling. As for an entrance to the base, no, I couldn't find one. So, might as well get in through the moon pool on day 63, and man, that prawn suit just looks fantastic. But it is time to introduce ourselves.
Holy! I had water in my mouth, you stupid mutt! Whew!
I told you to stay off my land.
That you did. I'm so
Trained
sorry.
that thing?
Next time I'll let him tear you to ribbons, Altera.
I'm not with Altera. I'm Robin Ayu. I'm looking for information about my sister Sam. I think you might have crossed paths.
Bull crap. I suggest you take the time you need to come to your senses and then get off my sea base. If you're not Altera, why don't you disable that damn tracking satellite tower instead of barging into my sea base? Maybe once Altera's off my back, I'll remember something about your sister.
Ah, a favor for a favor.
Junk on that table that might help. I couldn't get it to work.
Okay, oh, sure, you got it. It's a really cool crib, by the way. Approve of the decor. That counts for something. I'll just help myself to your stuff then. What do you got here? What else we got? Snow Stalker. Hey, puppy. Snow Fox Fragment. That does look like the hover bike. Okay. I am down for that. Sea Truck Perimeter Defense Upgrade.
Acquired.
Lord knows I've been needing that. Test Override Module Fragment. Okay, that's what I needed for the satellite thingamabobber. Okay, I suppose that's it. Okay, no, that's fine. I got it. I'm out.
The defense upgrade got slapped onto the truck, and a quick glance at what we need to make the override module shows that we need some weird thingamabobber called a parallel unit or something. Just another thing we need to still figure out. But there's so much more to unpack here, like plans for the spy penguin that Sam was working on, as well as a water filtration suit. Next to Maida's base is this massive cave, which I had a peek into, and there are tons of crystals here. This has to be where you can get kyanite. Plus, a welcome scan was this torpedo arm here. I need the kyanite for a lot of vehicle upgrades, so I began to scan around, hoping for the best as tension filled the waters.
Proceed with caution. A Leviathan-class creature is near.
Oh, thanks for the heads up. didn't think a Leviathan class could fit in here, but they have been proven wrong. That would explain the spooky noises. Oh, I saw something in the back. Fluid intake is the least of my problems. I saw something over there. Alright, so I definitely saw something over there. Let me just scan this thing. There's a little arm here that I want to grab, if you don't mind. Prawn suit propulsion arm fragment. 1 out of 2. Okay. Oh, hold the phone. I know I saw something back there, but that has to be a piece of kyanite right there. All the other ones are purple, and from the recipes and from knowledge, this is blue. Okay. Oh, that thing is enormous. Okay. Leviathan has been located. Not like he's trying to hide too much.
Well, that should do for now. I thought to myself, I don't want to get closer to that Leviathan thing. And sitting right there are 3 safe-to-get shards of kyanite. Wow, I could have saved myself a pair of pants knowing this was here. But jokes aside, it is time to head on home after so many new unlocks, resources, and new objectives. The travel home was long, but the defense unit came in handy, shooing off all of the carnivores with these electrical pulses. We docked the truck at about noon, and I do want myself the brand new depth modules for the truck and the prawn suit. But first, a grow bed for all of my precious new little potatoes. Then with some plasteel prepared, made both of the upgrades. The best that I can make. On day 65, they got slotted in, the truck now reaching 1,000 meters, and the prawn suit 100 meters more than that, so they should be set for a good while. Also, I was fed up with how long the truck is, so I detached the aquarium and sleeper modules from it. Acids got conjured up, and with this here silver, turned into a wiring kit, got to make the prawn suit thermal reactor upgrade so I can charge near thermal vents. And then with this chip, got a propulsion arm made. All that onto Jarvis is making him look real nice. The cotton anemones were coming in handy since I needed this stuff for more acids to end up making the charge fins. As I swim, my tool in hand charges wirelessly. Up next was the spy penguin and its remote, which got us information that these animals lay eggs in small caves near thermal lilies, so I think that is a clue to find the antibacterial stuff that Sam hid away. He do look a little bit funky, but I do love him, and I'm sure we'll put him to good use. The next day was when I went to the next artifact location, and wow, do I feel lighter now with less modules. I saw this long cable of architect origin, and upon inspection, it seems to be going in the direction of the artifact. And after swimming through a horde of big plump jellyfishes, saw a bridge that was disconnected. I parked in this nook here, and then made landfall, having to run around in the cold, looting some basic items here and there and having to warm up at these vents. And the closer that I got to the bridge, Alan notified me that we got across the bridge. There is something important on the other side for Altera, but even more important for him. So we gotta fix this hunk of junk. By the looks of things, I'm going to need hydraulic fluid. So I scanned a busted bottle right there and learned how to make it. Pretty easy to make since we have everything back home. With all this, I almost died of hypothermia, so I hopped back into the safety of the warm water. And I really need that cold suit as soon as possible. Turns out the jellies here are called eye jellies. I think I see why. But time to head on home, where thanks to our gel sack garden, got to make 2 hydraulic fluid. I think I just need 1, but made a spare just in case. On day 67, before I'd uncover what the new area is, I wanted to update myself on more information in case it's important to what we find over there. Marguerite Maida, the PDAs explain how she did not die in her encounter with a Reaper 500 meters deep. She managed to stab one of its eyes with a metal piece, and the Reaper brought them even deeper in its pain. She had about 4 minutes of air left, was fighting it since she needed something in its ribcage, and did manage to slay it, which is mind-boggling. Having survived the attack, she surfaced in the middle of the ocean, and definitely wouldn't be reaching land. Thankfully, a while later, the corpse of the Reaper surfaced, onto which she went onto like a meaty raft. She had 3 liters of water and kept warm by burning the fat of the creature, which took like a week to do with the spark of a repair tool, which is quite creative. This let her smoke the meat, and that way, have food. Her prawn suit is definitely old due to barnacle buildup, and one of the arms has the mandible of something called a chelicorate or something. Logs of the Mercury 2. The crash wreck pieces. Heavily summarizing here, but one log mentions someone named Jasmine and Stefanos. The crew on the ship wanted to do an emergency takeoff to leave the planet, and as they took off and were in the air, got blasted with a green laser, splitting the ship into pieces. So, the crew is just flying out of the ship down into the open ocean in a very chaotic event, when Stefano saves Jasmine by leading her to the reactor room with the strongest bulkhead door. However, both are heavily wounded. The captain was someone by the name of Diana, who from what I gather saved the remaining crew by getting the reactor to not explode in a nuclear explosion. Elliot was a crew member with a team of 6 to look for structures on the planet, and also detected the same distress signal Lil and we did, but lost half of his crew trying to get to it due to that the wildlife was, tearing them apart limb from limb, prompting him to never ever want to set foot into the ocean again. I understand, my friend. He notes the animals here look very sick with pustules, that has to be the Carabacteria, and even though he wants to leave, Diana, the captain, made them stay to complete their mission for a big payout. All that makes me feel like there's still much for me to uncover in those wrecks. Now I made my way back to the bridge, and wanted to progress with Jarvis, but couldn't jump him up the ledge, nor fit him under the bridge, and I feel like I'm going to need a grappling arm to take him along. So for now I went out on my own, and added the hydraulic fluid, which got the system working, allowing it to be connected from both ends, granting us passage under a moonlit sky, when Alan says to check northeast, but to be careful as he recalls creatures under the ice. The day had passed and I was exploring the area in the dark, and kept hearing some odd noises. Alan's comment had me spooked, so I was on high alert. Hello? I unlocked a new device called a thumper, and just barely made it back into a cave to warm up. This is gonna be tough without a cold suit. At least the sun is rising, so I can see better. Time to go and find whatever it is that Alan needs.
Holy Holy No! What is that? Oh! What would I do now? I gotta get to that cave for warmth. I got this glow stick. Does this heat up?
Hypothermia
Nope.
imminent.
I gotta make a break for it. I need warmth or I'm gonna die. Please, 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 please. Yes. Yes. Oh.
I cautiously investigated the cave and found these peppers. They add food, water, and most importantly, heat to you. Just what the doctor ordered. This will make things so much easier. I'm going to need a lot though, since this place is very confusing.
No. It's in the walls! I see a ladder. I'm gonna make a break for it. Here goes nothing. Well, that wasn't so bad. Oh. Yo! Dude! That was enormous! Here goes nothing. Through the passage I go. I don't know if this is the right way, but it is a way.
I did come across this tracker thing that beeps next to a small hole in the wall, and I think that I'll have to bring a robo-penguin back here to see what's inside. But I have more important things to worry about right now.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, that's one of those that Maida had. Oh! No! Oh! Oh! Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Hi! Easy does it, Muma. Almost forgot to eat my peppers. Alright, I gotta get to the artifact because I'm not... Up! Mother giggling! Ah! Oh, well, that kind of froze me for a sec. Alright. You know what? Pepper and run. Okay, okay, let's go. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm terrified. Was I here before? This place is incredibly confusing. Eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize. And, oh, hello. That's a busted alien structure if I've ever seen one. There's another gateway. Just like the one at Station 0. Oh! I don't have an ion cube. I don't know what you want from me. Shut up. Alright. Gotta remember to bring an ion cube over here. There's nothing else I can do in here. Where the heck am I supposed to go? Oh no. Oh! Oh, it launched me! It launched me off the cliff. Oh, it's coming. No, it's coming.
Architect data patterns are so strong here. There is almost certainly vital information pertaining to my body construction nearby.
Well, then flip it better. Do you know what I'm going through here, my man? All because you wouldn't go into a flippin' iPad. Well, peppers, don't mind if I do. Okay, there's a cave down there. I'm gonna go in this cave. My gut tells me to go into the cave. This looks like one of those things that it actually burrowed, and this has wait, if this has copper or like this, that means my flippin' Jarvis should be able to make it over here. Or else how am I supposed to make use of this, these veins here? Yeah, Jarvis should somehow be able to fit over here. Okay, this place is filled with ore that I want to make use of, but there's not enough time for that right now. Alright, I'm gonna go. Time to go. Time to go. Time to do the going. I feel like I'm getting way farther away from it as time goes on. I'm so confused. This place is a maze. Ow! Ow! Nope! Stop it! Stop it! Oh! I'm going! The fog is setting in.
Dangerous weather approaching.
Oh!
Seek shelter.
Perfect! Oh, great. There's a cave when you need one. I don't think I've been here before. I need to find some shelter ASAP.
New technology acquired.
Snow Fox Iceworm Attack Reduction Module. Okay. Here's a cave. Alright, I got shelter for the horrendous weather that is approaching, so we should be fine for now. It's just no matter what I do, I feel like I'm not getting any closer. Okay. Yep. I think I'm gonna hunker down here for the night.
Day 69, and I was still looking for this flippin' artifact. Oh!
Down the hatch! Holy!
And I am so lost. The more I think that I'm progressing, the worse things get. Basically, I went back to where I started, and I am so close to the artifact right here. Like, I'm right on top of it, but I can't find a way in. So I figured the entrance has to be somewhere very far away and connected to this spot underground somehow. Back in the maze area again, there were these prowlers, like the one in Maida's base, that kind of lock onto you, so I went to go hide in a cave. Here was an architect room with drillable ion cubes. I just don't have anything on me right now to harvest them, sadly. Foolishly, I thought that this was what Alan was talking about, that Altera wanted and is even more important to him. So I went on home, defeated that I couldn't find the actual artifact location near where I parked the truck. So, might as well pack up Jarvis and head on home. However,
You have to be kidding me. You have to be joking. Hold on. There are light sticks and everything. Bro.
Another site found.
Yeah.
But I cannot yet tell whether the others survived. Still, it holds valuable information. I
Okay.
hope you will find more.
Yeah. No, like, me too.
The network
Like, I'm
is
down.
indicating more of my people's technology,
Uh-huh.
but the images I am receiving are fragmented, repeating. I am struggling to locate them precisely.
Fragmented images. Why would that happen?
I can only theorize that the locations are deep and shielded by a refractive material. Perhaps amongst large crystal formations.
Crystal formations, got it. So first off, you sent me on a goose chase just for me to waste 2 days trying to find your precious generators. That ain't helping you jack squat. Oh, I'm just gonna grab your ion cube here. There has to be something in it for me too. And now you're saying crystal structures. My guy, the only place I've seen crystal structures thus far has been where that ginormous worm was near Maida's base, where the kyanite was. So I Yes, that's where we gotta go.
Exhausted, I got into the sea truck after 2 days of being utterly confused when Alan called and seems to be disheartened that he doesn't know if he'll find out what happened to his people or if the network even still exists. Robin tries to cheer him up, trying to give him hope. The base was a sight for sore eyes for me at midnight, and immediately on day 70, got some peppers planted that I had in my pocket. Farm's coming along splendidly. Since I had just recently read more of the wrecks of the Mercury 2, I was curious as to what I could still find in them, and yeah, well, I had no other story point that I could progress on, so I went to the first piece that we came across to check it out, with a laser cutter in hand, of course.
So, oh! Hey! Well, it's 1 out of 3. Oh, don't tell me I have to go to all the wrecks and find one of these. Oh, you have to be kidding me. I need to make that Crowmeda's tower issue.
That's 1 out of 3 steps in the right direction, so I went to the wreck in the green zone to see if I could find another piece to scan there. Maybe it's 1 per wreck or something like that. So in here I began cutting doors and did a scan on something that I've wanted this whole time, an alien containment unit to hatch eggs in. This has been worth it already. As I was cutting through more doors, I did hear a big boy roar, so I hope it's not attracted to my truck. But man, I just couldn't find any scans for the parallel unit. So confused, I returned to the first wreck, which in my defense is the only place that I had seen one, so maybe all 3 of them are in there, but no dice. After a lengthy investigation, there is not a single more piece inside. So I waddled on back to the wreck in the green zone, cut down some doors inside, and spotted some vents, just like in the first game, which led me through a winding pathway to a new room, where a second scan of the device was located. 1 more to go, and it was no problem since after taking a break for some air, gotta do quite a bit of these in this large area, got to a new room that I had not seen before, looking like the control room of the ship, where the final scan was at. Perfect, done it is. So all that's left is to go home and craft it to get to making the override module that Marguerite asked us to make, as well as to make an alien containment unit to hatch our many eggs. I arrived in the afternoon and the process unit was super easy to make, which was a relief, and with this glass here, placed the alien containment chamber, to which I added a hatch later in the day to be able to enter it, and once inside, dumped all of our little eggos. Just look at them, all colorful and bursting with intent to eat me once they get out. Alrighty then, day 72, the override module was finally crafted. Time to take down the tower. Let's hope this gets us Marguerite's trust. So now here at Delta Island and up the ladder, got it slotted in, and further down at the control panel, managed to deactivate this contraption, which is part of the tracking satellite from Altera that Marguerite had mentioned. Seems like a success, and Alan is impressed. Who's primitive now, hotshot? Marguerite calls to thank us, and we can find her at her greenhouse on an iceberg 1 kilometer to our east. Funny you assume that I'm good with directions, but we have no choice. I hopped into the truck and made my way on into the direction of the lily pads, zapping any threats along the way, which is very satisfying, ain't gonna lie. Past the lilies are some icebergs, so seems like we're in the general area, and I would keep looking on land, but this darn dangerous weather had me hopping back into the sea where a Cryptozoocus almost nipped me. Super close call right there, but I can't stand on this block of ice forever, which landed me into the water in a hurry to get to my truck, where I did get munched. Thankfully, I'm still in one piece. My search continued, and it felt like it would take forever. I could barely see around me, let alone find a greenhouse. In my desperation, in the later hours of the day, spotted a beach, and thinking that might be the spot, I full throttled to it and ended up getting beached. Uh-oh. Needless to say, it took all night to try and push this hunk of junk off of the iceberg. Even tried to detach the back end to, well, no luck at all. But it did let me back up so that Jarvis got close enough to land on the beach at midnight, which allowed me to make landfall with him on day 73 and push the truck back into the depths.
Brute forcing everything does the trick, doesn't it? F-250. Assemble. That works. We're good to go.
And well, since I'm in Jarvis, might as well have a little stroll to investigate the island, on top of which was a crashed Architect satellite. Sadly, not another body part cache, but okay, good sightseeing. But no sign of Marguerite, so I locked Jarvis back onto the back end and continued my search. when I got a pop-up that eggs back home have started to hatch, which is very exciting. I have not the slightest clue of what we've got. The greenhouse hunt led me to a cove where I took shelter at night, but quickly found a deep hole that led to tunnels that went all through this iceberg, and learned that our laser cutter can be used to cut through ice sheets, granting us access to rooms with great resources. As for all of the remaining paths, they just lead out back into the ocean since, well, it's an ice block in the middle of it. It was first on day 74 where I reached an iceberg with light posts and large bones on top of it. Seeing all this equipment had me certain this was the right spot, and the local fauna is just the absolute best.
Look at him. That's so cute.
This area had new plants like these vase plants, of which I got some seeds from. Now if only these eerie noises would stop haunting me through the entire night. At least sunrise came quickly, and with the new light reached the greenhouse. So it's time to get more info on Sam straight from Marguerite. She's glad the satellite hasn't passed by in a while, so we did a good job, I suppose. She had doubted Sam, thinking she was Alteran through and through. We got a new kind of fruit tossed our way when we get told that Sam surprised her in a way a little bit too much. To know more, we gotta read up this stuff in a PDA. The snow prowler pet here is named Preston and loves this kind of fruit, and we get permission to use the greenhouse as a thank you. So I got to scanning all sorts of new pieces of furniture, along with new plants like melons, picked up a few PDAs here and there, and plucked some more purple fruits called Preston's Delight. All this unlocked me a fruit salad. Very nice.
You can look all you want. There's more to Marguerite than any damn fangled gadget can see.
I had to try. I don't know what I expected.
Now for those PDAs. We can skip the one called Rather Be Hunting, since it just talks about how she made the greenhouse and that Preston will kind of just eat anything. The PDA called Couple of Friends is what's more important here, as it has conversations between Sam and Marguerite. To summarize, Sam mentioned the antidote was stashed away in a cave, as we know her goal is to stop the Carabacteria. Marguerite says she's got a full send this operation by sealing off an entrance to a cave with explosives, and I'm assuming that what's meant here is the room with the infected Leviathan where they got the bacteria samples from. Marguerite mentioned that it's also important to hit the labs to basically destroy any samples, and with that any progress with mutating the bacteria, I suppose. And based on this info, I think it was Marguerite that destroyed Omega Lab where the mutation was going on. The PDA on her is to be expected, listing all sorts of insane feats that she's accomplished, works as a freelance security personnel who is strong and hates corporations. Who would have thought? At 16 became a mercenary, did tours around space as part of the defense force, but had a dishonorable discharge. Apparently she found something out as head of intel and recon that she shouldn't have, and ended up eliminating an entire security apparatus silently in 3 days. Note, don't mess with her. But yeah, her last mission as security got her crashed onto this planet, which we learn more about in the first game. Quickly, some more Mercury 2 logs that I got. Captain Deanna mentioned people got sick here, yada yada yada, we know that. Emergency takeoff, we already know how poorly that went. But here's something new. They had to leave quarantined people behind, kinda promising to come back to get them, but we all know that that was never gonna happen, even if they get off this rock. Night was setting in, and since I'm close to Red Base, popped on over there to get the truck charged and repaired while I had to contemplate how to progress. I was kinda stuck, but remembered that Alan mentioned info to make his body is in an area with spires, I believe, and another one where there's tons of crystals. So that's our objective to find with no marker to follow. So after a bit of a stroll on day 75, managed to make my way back to the crow's nest, where all of our eggs have hatched. Just look at them go! Even have a cryptozookus in here, and that sea monkey that I stole from its parents. So with one new egg added to the chamber, I picked up my pangolin bot, and set out to the spire area with the big ol' worms. In this area though, I picked up the signal to Phi Robotics. I think it's the last base of operations for me to uncover, so I went straight into that direction, where I came across this partially opened gate. It was in this base that is now busted where Sam worked, and we got a scan right away for a Snow Fox hoverpad. Inside the base, I got some PDAs that are about Sam, a Snow Fox scan, so now that's 2 out of 3, and spotted a map of the area. I saw some trees in the distance, and a bit under it, a pangolin area that is circled out. My gut tells me that that's where the antidote is stashed. When I entered Sam's room, Robin here said something ain't right? Ain't gonna lie, aside that the place is obliterated, I don't really know what's meant by that. If y'all have any ideas, let me know. After some more snooping around, I got to a very nice room, and aside of all the decorations for me to loot, finally, can't believe I'm saying it, unlocked the cold suit. It's been a long time coming, holy moly. Apparently this is Zeta's room, so sorry for stealing all your stuff, Zeta, but you won't be needing it anymore, I think. Further up, I found another alien gateway, unpowered and no slot for an ion cube, and across some broken railings, got to the upper room, inside which got a couple more PDAs, a scan for a fridge, and documents as to who Zeta is. All that investigation work brings us to day 76. Got the Snow Fox hoverboard scans completed, so I can't wait to make one, but now is the time to find those trees and the pengling holds from the map. My jog had me accidentally stumbling into some prowler caves that required some escape maneuvers to get out alive, but eventually reached water. So in we go, through the winding pathways to an opening with a waterfall and this green glowing ice stuff. However, this just led me outside once more, but here's where I found one beacon next to a hole, so I brought out the Robo Buddy and had a peek inside. You control this little guy with this camera. No antidote for now, but nice to know that these things can have resources. Later I finally reached the tree, so I was getting closer to the actual marked location. I passed this small tower thing and ended up at a cave entrance, so of course I had a peek inside and immediately came across a bunker door from Parvin, the person from the mines. Turns out this is a security bunker, and it had some stalker fur stashed inside. I need quite a few of those for the cold suit, so this is very welcome. And well, hats off to you, my friend, for some good decor choices that I will be taking along. His security cameras show a work site, and those green globs look like pustules. I think we are close to the frozen Leviathan. So once I was done looting this room, I went deeper through the tunnels, reaching what Sam wanted to stop.
That's a big boy. That thing is massive. Frozen in ice. What the heck?
Had to take this elevator to reach the head, half of which is thawed out to expose the bacteria-infested pustules. Seems though that this big beastie is dead for good at least. There is this device next to it that I can insert samples with, but requires an injectable canister to function. So time to add that to our figure out list. Most of the areas, even below, allow only for more scans of the gargantuan monster, but as I was about to leave, we spotted Sam's necklace on a desk, which is odd since she never took it off. Alan highlights that Sam's death was accompanied by significant destruction, and this place does look a little bit banged up with the rocks all over the place. But this has us confused since it is so unlike her. Maybe Sam did try and seal this place off and failed? Day 77 had come around, and as I left in the early hours, got to unlock a jump mod for the Snow Fox hoverboard. I made sure to check any crevices where the Pengling bot could enter, but for now, just some more magnetite. But remember how we need prowler fur for the cold suit? Well, I am one curious crow, I'll tell you that.
Oh, that was risky. I need your fur for a cold suit. Damn it. Come on! Oh! Easy, puppy! Easy, puppy! Okay, no, that was enough of a try. That's all I gotta see. Or is it? Fight me, foul demon! Alright, I've had enough. I had enough. Hello, puppy! Hi! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! No. I'm sorry. I was just saying hello.
Seek shelter.
Look, dangerous weather is approaching. You got room for like one more, please. I'm dying out here. Oh, there's fur. Oh, my inventory's full. Med pack, fur, got it. Hi, bye. Yeah, that's one more fur. I think I need one more, and can make a whole cold suit.
A hailstorm pulled over, so I hid in a cave where on a workstation got a PDA named God Thanks Sam, but couldn't focus since I kept hearing strange, monstrous noises. Turns out next to me is a massive prowler nest, and to my luck that means more fur, so I did get some. That is whenever Mama Prowler wasn't camping the entrance, that is. But I'm done here. I need to run for dear life as to not end up as its main course.
You're so cute.
Okay, focus. It is night, dark and cold, out of the cave, and oh look, there's a baby pangolin to put in my pocket. You'll love the other monsters in the containment chamber. It was first on day 78 where, thanks to our robo buddy, found our prize.
There it is. Let's go, baby.
She was gonna use this antibacterial agent to neutralize the bacterium.
That's progress right there, baby. Let's go. Hell yeah. Let's go, little buddy. Good job.
What's super exciting is that this is injectable based on its description. Sounds like what we would need for the Leviathan pustules. But a danger storm came along, so into the waters it is for me, where I found this egg that looks like a jellyfish. Another fine addition to the collection, I'm sure. I was panicking a bit since I couldn't find my way out of this area, or at least find an air pocket, so I swam through a fleet of eye jellies, reaching the open ocean, surprisingly, and just barely got back to the surface in time. Confused as to how to get back to where I just came from, the only logical choice was to head on over to F250, and once I got to it, made my way on home, where I made a very shocking and confusing discovery.
Seriously? The antidote is just peppers and a vase plant, and nobody else figured it out? Bro, that's so easy. What? I can't believe all this dilemma, all this death on this planet could be solved by a pepper and a vase plant.
To free up some space, I unloaded the tons of decor items that I had gotten from Phi Robotics and added the additional egg. And looky here, we have a jellyfish as well as a whole fish. I came back to make all of the things that we just unlocked, so I started off with the cold gloves, but I'm going to need more fiber mesh, so I got creep vines through the night, which let me make the cold helmet, and with that also the cold suit early in the morning. And of course we can't forget about the Snow Fox platform that I placed on this ice sheet. Making the Snow Fox is relatively easy, kind of had everything just lying around, so I got that made too.
Now that is one sweet ride, look at that. Ooh, mama! This is gonna get fun. Okay, how do I steer this thing? You have 4 power? What? I need to charge you or something? Why is there only a 4 on your electricity? And why do you barely move? Hello? Okay. It's not working for some reason. I don't know. Oh, okay, now I think, yeah, there you go, now you're charging. Okay, sorry, I was a little bit too much of a go-getter on that one. I needed to let you rest a little bit.
While we wait on that to be ready, I slapped on the cold suit, making me immune to surface temperatures, and then got the jump mod made for our new vehicle. But that is not all. Got a few pieces of silver, and that was the last that I needed to get to make the worm attack reduction upgrade. The penguin baby in my pocket was finally freed into the chamber of death, and as for the Snow Fox upgrades, for the life of me, I just couldn't get them added. This whole vehicle process has been very confusing for little old me. Controlling this contraption on day 80 came with a ton of hiccups as well, and apparently you can only add 1 upgrade at a time?
What?
So for now, the jump upgrade it is, and with this stylish new paint job comes the new name, Purple Piercer, which was brought to land to test out there.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, on land, this thing is magnificent. I was just so confused as to what was going on in the water, because you dip its toe in there and the entire thing just falls apart, kind of. Yep, that'll do it. It has become useless.
As for our farm, I got to chowing down tons of potatoes to free up a plot that I had to place anew, but now could plant shrub nuts that I got from Delta Island. And since we are on this topic, I made the long trek on over to Red Base, unlocked the truck afterburner on the way, by the way, and once docked at our destination, got seeds for all of these other plants that we had recently came across, which is quite a nice variety. I had planted these after having visited the greenhouse. Luckily, this place has some silver, so on day 81, I turned some of that into a wiring kit, but I'm still short on lithium and sulfur to make the afterburner upgrade. I was heading home to get it, but since I crossed the vent biome, the stuff is literally just lying around all over the place, so got all of that, completed it, crafted the afterburner, which when slotted in as the final truck upgrade, gets it around the map much faster at the expense of more power usage. I would say F250 has become a speed demon, but it's not that fast, it's more like a speed imp of sorts. The garden at the crow nest could now be worked on with the seeds that we brought, so I removed 1 tree plot, and in the new one got vase plants as well as melons going. Also, let's add these 2 Preston Delights just in case we need them later on. To end the day, I made my way on over to Phi Robotics to find another body part for Alan, since again, he mentioned spires, and that's the place. As soon as I got there, I popped out the purple piercer and immediately got lost in worm territory all night long. I definitely took a wrong turn somewhere, I'm certain of that much. Confusion ensued as under the darkness of night, the worms kept knocking me off the piercer without even being close to me. But turns out it was actually damaging the ride, so I had to make some pit stops here and there to do some repairs. And yeah, let's add the worm attack reduction mod, shall we?
Doesn't even touch me. And it knocks me off. What the heck? Ow.
A new area was uncovered once daylight came out, a large open space, and at the back was a pathway down, leading me straight to the body part that I had been looking for so very long.
Hello, Mama. What do we have here? Oh, these are emeralds. I thought this was just green ice. You know, yellow snow, green ice. You never know. Yo! Look at that. That's like a crab pincer, bro.
Ah, that is a rough way to go.
Yes, I would
Indeed.
enjoy being crushed while mining iron cube components.
The cold preserved the body well, but this isn't a big sample. Will it be enough?
Our tissues are pluripotent.
I'll pretend like I know what
DNA of
pluripotent
various
means.
species, capable of changing form as necessary.
Ah, like stem cells.
Okay.
So, what prevents you from, I don't know, ending up with hooves where your eyelashes should go?
That does not happen. At least not since the fourth iteration.
Okay, so they've been through it. They figured it out. They got that under control. I think that's the least of their worries. Okay, so architect tissues. We have everything for that. Yeah, no problem. That is really no issue to make that in the slightest. Oh, what the? Bro. I just glitched through the map? What the? So that happened. I mean, my hoverboard was looking kind of funky in the snow. Yeah. You know, that's, it is what it is, you know?
It was first at sunset where I was freed from the glitch and got back to the truck. But I had more to do here. Aside from the body scan, I have the injectable antidote with me, so it's time to find the Leviathan where the injection machine was. The search went into day 83, but I arrived, and once at this colossal beast, got straight to using the antidote, which drove itself to the corpse and pumped it into the green pustule, and guess what? It works! The pustules disappeared. Alan confirmed this, and that it cannot spread anymore. And Robin has closure now that Sam's mission is complete. Her work is done, and everyone is safe. Getting back to the truck was no problem, since by now I've mastered the Snow Fox, and as soon as I got into it though, Alan called from within my brain again. 2 of 3 parts are now learned, and is slowly learning how sarcasm works. We ask that, since, you know, they can swap bodies, why was it so important to them to find a cure for the Kara? He states that the body parts that they use were made and comprised of DNA of 27 different alien species, which means the Kara could affect all of those species, hence why a cure was so important to them. The trip home was relaxing, reaching the base at sunset, where I began to unload all that I got from this outing, and then took a well-deserved long rest. Waking up on day 84, I decided it would be a good time to have a seat at the desk and have a gander at all those new PDAs we've recently found. Here's one from a call between Danielle and Sam. Seems like here is where their fight began. You see, Sam had recorded the Kara and reported it to Zeta at the base, and Zeta just gave off no reaction to it, which was kind of weird. Sam, of course, is worried that the bacteria will get out, but Danielle says that Sam basically doesn't know what she's talking about, that they can neutralize the Kara when needed, and, well, eventually and hesitantly admits to Sam that she is mutating the bacteria for her work. That, I think, was the tipping point between them. At least in this note from someone named Sebastian, they want to thank Sam for her work with the bots, since they can get to work in places that they normally can't reach, and they know she's been down in the dumps lately. I want to cheer her up, you know. The log of Parvin here makes him seem like a very proud and stern guy that has an issue with bragging, especially since he got promoted to security at the Leviathan site, but is trying desperately to send a message to his family to tell them all that he loves them, but just can't seem to bring himself to do so. Seems to have a hard time expressing his emotions. A PDA of an investigation report by Alexis from the Leviathan chamber states there was a lot of destruction in the cavern, same thing that Alan said. I'm assuming because Sam and Maida wanted to seal it off. Due to the evident damages in the area, Parvin as well as Sam lost their lives under the rubble, which is very tragic. Alexis is confused why Sam was here in the first place and was the one to conclude negligence being the cause of death, but wants to investigate a connection between her and the destruction of Omega Lab, which again we think Marguerite did. Now for bullet points, lightning round. Parvin is losing his mind to boredom by working as security in the cave with just a giant corpse in it. He's resulted to collecting rocks to pass the time, but Fred here thinks the Leviathan might still be alive. In another note involving Sam, Parvin, Fred, Zeta, and Vin, they're playing games to pass the time when Sam wants to convince everyone to stop the Kara bacteria, but everyone thinks she is overreacting or delusional, except for Fred. Seems like Fred is the only one on her side. Wow, it's nighttime already. I got sucked in there for a hot minute. Day 85 had me slapping on the reinforced suit again, for I am heading straight to the creepy crystal cave. Also, I made sure that I had an ion cube on me in case I find a portal that needs to be powered. Now then, off we go to our impending doom.
Wait, did I just kill him? Or are you just stunned? Well, that's a first.
Down the winding green pathways I went, took a little break to repair at Marguerite's base, and then descended into the danger zone, for my investigation will definitely lead me straight to the Dark Leviathans.
Okay, so I think it does a round. I think it always comes around this way, and then goes down that hole, and I see some crystals over there in the distance. So I'm gonna wait for him to do his loop, and I'll follow behind him. Oh, there he is, right on cue. There you big boy. Oh, you a centipede. And then he goes up behind there. Okay, that's our cue. Okay, let's go. Afterburner, just so he doesn't catch up on us. This might be a good place to hide. Oh, there's a torpedo arm. Okay, I gotta scan that. I have an inkling of a feeling that this is no time to stop. So far, so good. Trying to keep low until Alan says something. Any minute now. Well, this place goes deep, deep. Oh boy. I think this is as deep as it goes. Honestly, I have no idea what you would need this much kyanite for. I kind of think I made everything that's needed, and dear lord, there's a lot of resources down here, but that's besides the point. I have no other choice but to go back up again to Big, Long, and Ugly. So this is where I came from. Oh, well, there it goes. Yeah, I can see it go away in the distance there. Okay, cool. Then we should be clear, though. There's a lot of crystal here. Oh, there it is! The safety. Go into the hole. It worked kind of last time. Okay. I think we are in the clear. Well, there's kind of only one way to go. So, yeah, let's have a look-see, shall we?
There is definitely something of value nearby. It could help you build my...
It better. Dear lord, this'll better be not be for nothing. Okay. Architecture. We're getting close. Hello, gateway. Let's have a look. Do I continue swimming, or how are we doing this? Nope. Okay. It is a no swim zone. Let's see what happens. Oh, whoa. Oh, okay. It is like a super invisible barrier, but that is a pretty sight to behold, dear lord. Some good interior design, I do approve. This is really nice. Y'all done outdid yourselves, didn't you? Hey, we got robos. What's up, my guy? You may lead the way. Architect component. That looks like a lungs, hip, and nervous system. Continuing parts.
Construct bionic organs with the scanned material, both
Gotcha.
primary and secondary. Our designs provide for redundancies.
Given your current
Okay.
location, I think they could still be improved.
Your feedback has been noted.
Oh, snarky, are
We
we?
have scanned all the components we need to make a storage body.
Atta
excited?
boy.
Using the chemical compounds available in your body, I am able to approximate what you might call cautious optimism.
Well, that's good for you. That's progress right there. One step at a time. One step at a time to bring you down to our level. So we have learned all we need to make the components. Let's have a look. That is synthetic fibers, with some of the creepvine stuff and the gel sacks. We got diamonds, one of the acids, plasteel. We got some stuff that we got growing in our backyard, the battery plants, an ion cube that I have my info, and some kyanite. Okay, so we do need more kyanite. Good. Okay, I can solve that main dilemma here as we, have nothing better to do with our time on our hands. So let's get cracking.
Luckily, right out the gate, I already got 2 out of 3 pieces of kyanite. Alan called at the start of day 86, and since we have learned all body parts now, we should go to a place called a fabrication facility to craft the whole body for him, which is somewhat deeper than we are now. We ask if they had planned to need to make more bodies, to which Alan says it's like a standard medical facility, but Robin notes that a place to swap your whole body is a bit away from standard. Alan says their research mission was of the highest importance, and Robin tries to pry more on their mission, but Alan oddly and abruptly changes the subject to stay on course to get to the facility, which feels somewhat out of character. Before I reached Leviathan territory, I did get all of the kyanite needed, as well as diamonds for one of the parts. So, now it is time to find that facility. I waited for the Leviathan to pass overhead in order to move around behind it, rather than it sneaking up from behind me. This plan did not go down so smoothly.
I don't know where to go. Oh!
My senses.
Not now, Alan!
And yet I feel certain there is something important below. A facility or a body component. Perhaps. I cannot tell.
Yeah, good for you. That's fantastic. Whatever you said, I'm happy for you, or sorry that happened.
Man, I am so lost after that chase. No clue where to go except down, which luckily was all the info needed to later in the day start finding some clues.
Red cubes. That's new. And a big open space to boot. Okay, so we're going into uncharted territories. I haven't seen one of the big boys in a very long time, and I probably jinxed myself by just saying that just now, but they'll be fine. They'll be fine, unless it's a one-shot. It'll be fine. Hello? Oh, wow. Oh, okay, never mind. This is actually its home. Oh, no. Are you coming for me already? Hell no. Ain't no way. Oh, was that something of it glitching through the ground? I am a little bit spooked, I'm not gonna lie. Oh! Oh. Can I stop bumping into absolutely everything for like 5 seconds? Alright, it's going away. This gives me some time to look around and see where I gotta go.
I sense the presence of a substantial facility in the area. Unable to identify.
It's coming back. I'm out. Toodaloo. We know this is a facility. Like, this has to be it. It is deeper than the last location, and it looks pretty. It has to be it. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna see to get myself some beacons crafted, and with that, I'm gonna leave a cookie crumb trail all the way back to wherever the heck I find an exit, so I can find my way back once I get the supplies. Sounds like a plan? It does. Okay, cool. Glad we agree.
With these bits of titanium and copper here, I did manage to leave one beacon at the entrance to the red crystal section. On my way out, I did take the time to mine the plentiful resources down here, as I knew I was going to need a bit to add some much needed upgrades to Jarvis if I'm to pass the Leviathan guarding the red zone, although I didn't stay too long as I could hear the Leviathan's roars get closer. So I found a new exit that led all the way up to the first Mercury wreck that we had found. Noted for when we want to go back. Once back home, I unloaded the hull and made tons of wire, and after a bit of work, added all the body part resources to the truck so once we go there, we can make all of them in one go. Now for those upgrades for Jarvis. I want a torpedo arm to start, so I got resources pretty much all day to make heaps of progress on it, but also a torpedo launcher needs torpedoes, and I want a vortex variety to hold enemies in place, for which I'm going to need a lot of titanium and some magnetite, so I set out at night to look for some titanium nodes. I was severely lost on day 88 since it's just so incredibly dark, so I made a pit stop at Red Base because somehow I ended up in the area where I plucked some fruit from our garden to keep the bioreactor here going. Down here are some titanium nodes, so I guess it all kind of worked out. And man, the propulsion arm is just so fun to use, just yeet stuff around at surprising speeds. But we need a freedom launcher, so I made the torpedo arm, attached the thing, so now I just need quite a hefty amount of magnetite, and the only place that I could think of that has a lot of it was the area around Phi Robotics. The trip there was the longest ever since it's all the way on the other side of the map, but on the way made sure to get some nodes, as risky as they may have been.
Don't you dare.
Eventually, on day 89, I made landfall with Jarvis at Phi Robotics landmass, and after quite a long bit of searching, started to find some magnetite veins. Also in the base, spotted a secret room, but could not get into it at all. It's just teasing me. Jarvis, lacking a grappling arm, couldn't go everywhere, so partially I had to keep on exploring on foot, and in a cave, lured a prowler into a hole. Little stupid beast. All in order for tons of free copper and lots of magnetite. I then returned to Jarvis after a long day of gathering, loaded him onto the back end of the truck, and set hypothetical sail back to the Crow Nest. Vortex torpedo production was through the roof on day 90, and Jarvis was more than locked and loaded. Now, the second upgrade that I want on this bad boy is a grappling arm for evasive maneuvers in case of a Leviathan attack, but I am lacking all of the scans for it. So I went on over to the lily pad biome because I think I remember finding the first scan somewhere over here. But it was no easy task, so much time was spent looking and getting lost in the process, but that isn't always a bad thing.
I can't believe it. We were here that one time at this thermal area. We're like, oh yeah, here's some information on Marguerite. Little did I know, just around the corner, there's a cave right here that leads to her front door. I could have saved so much time if I just would have looked to like my right. Because you literally just follow along this path and she's like, I think right over there. Wow.
After what I felt like was a wasted day, I actually found the final scan for the grapple arm. I should have all of those supplies back at main base, so after arriving back at home at about midnight, and with gathering done to kick off day 91, I completed the grapple arm. Now Jarvis here is unstoppable. I did keep my drill arm in the inventory in case some good nodes appeared, and we are off to find the fabrication facility. About noon was about when I reached the wreck, from where I began to descend and quickly reached the blue layer of death, and I was reminded quickly that I am not welcome here.
No. 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 Oh my gosh, it's right there. Oh no. No. Please, please, please don't kill me. Please, I beg of thee. Oh my gosh. Woo. That did over half of my health. One more hit and I'm dead. Okay, I'm gone. I am so gone. Oh, I flew right into the belly of the beast. Oh, I didn't even try to shock it. I was in a panic. Woo-wee. Okay. We might have to rethink this one.
Well, a little old repair is in order after that ordeal, and yes, now I was taking it very slowly to progress, learning the enemy's swim patterns, letting it go past, and then head straight ahead into, well, it's still a smidge of more danger.
Oh boy. Okay. Evasive maneuvers. I think it's right on my booty cheeks. Go, go, dash, lightning speed. Lose it in the rocks. All right. We should be safe here. It definitely won't be able to fit in here. Okay, cool. We got a moment to breathe.
I zipped straight to the entrance, thankfully with no other jump scares, and parked at the red crystals, preparing to make my way deeper with Jarvis. It was first the next day where I realized I am missing a few key components for this mission.
Wait, what? You mean I'm missing 2 gel sacks? There ain't no way I'm missing 2 gel sacks. Nuh-uh. No shot. Oh, dear Lord, you have to be kidding me. Oh, what happened? I put everything in. What? Bro, there's no way. What?
Well then, I have no choice but to search for some in the area, as terrifying as that may be. But to my luck, the above section with the vents does have gel sacks, so 2 got retrieved relatively quickly. And I would go back to the red crystal zone, but my battery was like halfway depleted. It would be too much of a risk to go down there and run out of power, so I charged up at Red Base, which was nearby, where I placed more signs as I waited for the truck to be ready. First in the afternoon, we could embark once more on our quest. Down we go at the wreck site and arrive in centipede territory in a jiffy. Extra caution was applied to get past the predators and got to the beacon at day's end, meaning day 93 would be the day that I explore the deepest and most dangerous section yet.
Hey, so we're off to a bumpy start. I doubt this is gonna be a good place to get in, considering it always keeps circling back here like every minute or so. Like, I'm gonna get bit no matter what. So probably I'm better off looking for a better point of entry. So let's go do that, because I saw some entrances right this way. Right around this corner here, we have another hole. And the question is if this place is safer than the other. It does seem to be a bit tight. It might work in our favor because it might not want to go all this way. Hi. Oh, okay. I don't think it'll come here. Okay, it just has a peak and then it leaves. That's its route. Okay. So we learned that much. I'm gonna keep the lights off. I don't know if the lights attract it, but either way it'll save us battery and I can see pretty well. All we gotta do is wait for it to do a little round, and once it leaves, then we swoop in to progress to wherever we may need to go. There it is, right on cue. Has a little look around, does a cute little roar. That's our cue, sadly. I'm gonna take it nice and easy, because I wanna see how far it goes. It is quite a bit, and it seems to be going deeper over there. Oh, it's coming back already. Oh man, that is not a lot of time at all. Yep, that's like a minute of time. And I probably am not allowed to get too close or it's gonna notice me off its tail. Okay, let's hope for the best, shall we? Oh, it's 2! Oh my gosh, it's 2. Okay, that one's going around the right, so I'm just gonna go down here, straight down the middle. Oh, there's an entrance. Oh my gosh, there's an entrance. This is good. Cool. Okay. I think we'll be fine. Yeah. Take that. All right.
Once you have used the fabricator to build each component, we can assemble them.
And then we can transfer you out of my head?
I am anticipating it as much as you are.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm very much looking forward to play Lego with your body. So have a... Ooh la la. This is not bad a crib. Those definitely have the symbols that I have on the right side of my screen to craft the components.
The process requires you to build each component before you can assemble the whole.
Okay, look. I know I'm not as smart as you are, but I knew that much. I was just looking around. All right, I guess we just do any of them. I guess we'll just start with the left. Go left or right, you know. Use fabricator. This would be the middle symbol there. The architect skeleton. All right.
So, Alan, you said your people came here in search of a cure?
I was a researcher.
You were a scientist?
Okay.
Like me?
My people regarded my scientific contributions with particular interest.
As I said, like me.
If that is your interpretation.
So, how did your valuable scientific mind wind up infected?
Not my mind, my body. Perhaps you should build the next component.
Ooh, okay, so that's its skeleton. It does really look like that statue we found in a cave that one time. He's being kind of vague a little bit. It's like, why did you come here? And he's like, research. Here's the thing. I said, so, Alan, if you want to be specific, you said your people came here and searched for a cure. And he said, I was a researcher. Bro, you didn't answer my question. All right, let's go for the next one then. Architect tissues.
So you came here to search for a cure?
I led the mission.
Does that
Okay.
mean the bacteria got out on your watch?
This subject is uncomfortable. If you would like to know more, I will ask that you first construct the final component.
Just give it to me straight, Doc. What happened? Ooh, I dig the color scheme, my guy. I really do. Very approved. Very nice.
Okay, so this kind of does confirm it, though. I asked, so you came here to search for a cure, and Alan said, I led the mission. The kind of applies to that, yes, it was in search for a cure. I was just a little bit weirded out by the fact that he dodged earlier questions about research and changed the subject in order to build his body. I was a little bit weirded out, but yeah, I guess I was misinterpreting. Architect organs. Okay.
This is the last piece. Soon I will be autonomous again.
I hope
What
so.
will you do with your newfound freedom?
I must return home to make amends.
Amends?
Make amends?
For the bacterium? There seems to be a lot you're not telling me.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard for me to find the words. I must collect my thoughts.
That's a whole lot of hoo-ha.
Necessary components. You may initiate body fabrication sequence from the terminal.
You still owe me an explanation.
I understand.
Yeah, like, bro, what do you need to make amends for? What did you do? You led the operation, something evidently went wrong, and now you need to make amends? Kind of weird, a little bit fishy, but there is no real going back at this point. So, commence storage and medium fabrication.
Commencing storage medium fabrication.
Gotcha.
The escape of the bacteria was an accident.
Okay.
I thought my solution was foolproof.
He had been fooled by his foolproof
Did
plan.
you cause the accident?
Yes.
Oh,
I do not wish to speak about it.
Oh, is this a sensitive topic?
this.
Oh boy. Bro is a centaur. What? Hello. I can scan you.
What are you doing?
Research. Tit for tat. You've probed my mind. I scan your body.
Ha! That's what, that's what I'm talking about. This is gonna be highly expensive on the black market. Bro is a purple centaur with horns and crab arms. Supposedly, this is peak performance, peak efficiency. Okay, initiate transfer is what I can do. I am a little bit scared, but I guess we don't have a choice. All right, initiate transfer.
Commencing data transfer.
Ooh. Hello. Nice. Ooh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy does it,
Did it
Robin.
work? Are we...
Is alive! Franken Allen! That's a good stretch.
Some time since I last stretched out in so many dimensions. Like waking from a dream.
Welcome back, my guy.
Whoa.
Bro, take it easy. What you doing, my guy?
Hey. You're really not in my head anymore?
There are some remnants. Would you like your memories of me removed as well?
I didn't say
Are
that.
you kidding? No way. You still owe me the end of your story.
I told you I must return home. To assess. Repair. Make amends.
For what?
Tell me more.
When the bacteria escaped, it was my fault.
Yes.
I disobeyed the directive from my network.
Oh, that's a naughty boy. Oh, what did you do? Give me the tea.
Oh, no.
Oh, holy.
We noticed that a species of Leviathan young produced an enzyme that is efficient against the bacteria.
Right.
I thought if we incubated sea dragon eggs, we might expedite their hatching. I was not wrong.
But...
It would appear that sea dragon parents are stronger and more motivated than our facility was rated to handle.
And the bacteria got out, infecting everything.
Oh my
How many
goodness.
survived the outbreak back home? Are they still waiting for someone to bring back a cure?
I do not know.
Can I help?
The fact that I withheld this information does not concern you.
Not really.
It's certainly manipulative. But I've also made my own share of mistakes. I'm still committed to helping.
I accept your help. Find me at the gate when you are ready. In the meantime, I must prepare.
Signal location
Gotcha.
uploaded to PDA.
Oh, okay. So we have the location on where we gotta go. There it is. Architect Phase Gate Facility. Okay, that's the phase gate for Alan the Centaur to go home. Yeah, so what he just said about the sea dragon enzyme to cure the bacteria,
I don't want to spoil too much because that has a lot to do with the first game, and again, I already played through that and made content on that, you know. But it kind of ties together what exactly happened part-wise in the first game. So I'm glad. Now I got closure. Oh, that's great. Okay, no, I'm happy with that. I got all the answers that that I had, kind of, from the first game. I'm satisfied, actually. Ooh, except for that.
So I skedaddled on out the same way that I came from, but I could not leave without a goodbye smooch.
Whew! Whew! Oh, okay, okay. Hi! Yo, what? That is disgusting! Okay, that does it.
Hold on. Wait a minute, I never used Jarvis. I was so focused on completing the mission that I totally had forgotten.
Alright, where are you, big guy? I at least want to test out my weapons on him. I made this torpedo launcher for something. Wait for it. Alright, where are you, big guy? There you are! Come here! Come here, ugly! Oh, oh! Did that push it? I think that did push it. Okay. I thought it would hold it in place. It ended up pushing it, but that's not too bad, actually. Now I at least know how it feels like. This robot should have been called Aaron Yeager. Got that ODM gear.
Slowly but surely, I was making my way out of the cavern, and I'm glad that on day 94, this is the last time that I'll be seeing these wretched abominations, as I finally got out and went straight on over to Phi Robotics. You see, I have a few more days left on this planet before I go meet Alan, so I have a side mission to complete involving Red Base. So once there, I added the drill arm to Jarvis and set out to get all the copper that I could find. But the grapple arm was a bit tough to use at the start, but trust me, I get really good at using this thing. Tons of copper was retrieved, and also got to mine ion cube nodes to end the day. This process of gathering copper was quite extensive, and lucky me found the worm tunnels where there are tons of copper veins. Note though that the worms can pop up here and damage you. Once our inventories were full, we just crafted tons of wire back at F250 and deposited it all, and went back for round 2, slowly getting a hang of the grapple arm to improve our speed. But yeah, copper mining was done all day, which was done straight through till midday of 96, till we had our fill. And with some amazing grapple maneuvering, if I do say so myself, I mean just look at us go, that Titanfall 2 gameplay is still within me, reached the truck, which is almost out of juice, so we returned to the crow nest to charge it up, unload our haul, and make more wires. And also, can't forget to charge Jarvis himself through the night, so that on day 97 we could go back to the worm area for one final round. The mining shall not stop, I need all of the copper that I could find. Besides of that, I did find a new, peculiar egg out of the water with 4 legs and an eyeball, so of course, you're coming with me. With both our inventories filled again, we made our way back to the nest, where I laid down the egg into the chamber, and again made truckloads of wire. So much so that by day's end, the entire truck's cargo slots were filled entirely with wire. Day 98 was when I could begin to finalize my side quest after my long trip to Red Base with our supplies, and this involved placing signs that are crafted with the copper wire across the wall, which took up a massive portion of the day till they were all used up. As for the signs, I began to write down the names of all of my active patrons and YouTube channel members, although heavily compacted so they would all fit. And yes, this took insanely long to do, but after placing names all day long on day 99, I proudly present to you all the completed supporter mural. Thank you all for your monthly support to the channel to help us improve our content. It really does help a lot, and I am incredibly grateful. The link to my Patreon is in the description, my lovelies. Day 100 is finally here, everyone. We made it to the end of the adventure. All we have to do is meet up with Alan at the phase gate. But first, I made a pit stop back at the crow nest to get some water, for I was quite parched, and had a look around the entirety of the base. I'm actually kind of proud of this one. I felt right at home. It all came together nicely, even though some of the sections were a little bit hard to nail down, but it's home away from home. And yes, the weird egg that we got became this weird blue ball eye thing. Who would have thought? It's time. Let's head on over to the location, which is at Station 0, where I had to trek through an insanely powerful snowstorm to reach the warm pathway with thermal lilies, at the end of which was our destination. Let's see what Alan has in store.
Well, I guess it's time. This place was oh so important and useless without an architect, but I see he's beaten me to the punch. At least he's been keeping busy. That is very apparent.
Are you preparing to leave, Alan?
Yes, there is much to do.
Okay. Whoa. Can you stop teleporting on me like that? Look, I know you're in a bit of a hurry, but just, I can't teleport. I have little legs, so, you know, take it easy.
Do you still wish to leave with me?
Uh-huh.
Beyond this teleporter, there is no turning back.
Are you kidding? I can't pass up a chance to see where architects come from.
True.
Besides, I don't have another ride.
Also
I do
true.
not know what we will find there. The others may be sick or angry,
Likely angry.
if they live at all.
Or you could find peace. Family.
I hope you are right. Please complete any business you still have on this planet. Join me on the other side when you are ready to leave.
Okay, so, oh! Man, he is a go-getter. He really needed his own body. I can't imagine how much he was containing his eagerness while being inside my noggin. Wow. Okay. I guess this does it. I mean, I can't wait to get off this planet. I've had about enough of the frigid temperatures and, you know, beasts that want to eat my face. So, here we goes nothing. There we go. Boom. Where are we now? Wait, are we still on the same planet? There is snow here. You lied to me! Unless your planet has snow too, then in that case you didn't. Hey.
Robin, you're just in time. The phase gate is opening.
Well, I wouldn't miss it at all.
You've been
Not for
hiding
nothing
a
in the
phase
world.
gate here this whole time.
Only for the last millennium. It will lead us home.
Last
No
millennium.
wonder you hid yourself from Altera.
It was imperative to keep the homeworld safe, in hopes that the others survived.
True. Yeah, because if the virus would have gotten through because of Altera, that would have been a worst case scenario for sure. So I get that. That's not gonna blow my face up, is it? Because I know a death machine when I see one.
Will you help me prepare the ship? The energy masts must be moved into place.
Okay. Whoa. Hey, easy now.
Well, this is different.
Yo, I just became 4 irons. We do have the Omnitrix. Okay. All right. What do you need, my guy? What do you need? What do I do? You know, I appreciate you assuming that I'm smart enough to understand what you told me to do. The matter of the fact is I'm a little bit clueless as to what I should be doing, but I'm gonna pretend like I understood. You know, fake it till you make it, and we'll see what will happen. Do I need to do something with this? Align pillar. Let's frickin' go. No, we have telekinesis. Easy. There we go, Muma. Alright, that's one down. Alright, I got a hang of it. It's not too bad. Here we go. Up you go. Easy does it. Wouldn't want to bump it against the mother. Whoa. Yeah, I said easy does it now. There you go. Oh, they lit up.
Very
Oh.
good. Return to me and I will initiate ship assembly.
You got it, Captain. You are the captain because, dear Lord, do I not know how to operate this thing. Return arms. Oh, what a... They feel natural to me. Bro, you got like 6. Why do I have to give them back?
Thank you. The masts are in place. The energy field is ready. There is no time to lose.
The masts are ready. So, wait, that means sails, right? Alright, let's do this, big guy. Hey, 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 hey! Beam me up, Scotty, will ya? Holy moly. Holy, what the heck are you doing? You just materialized a ship, my guy. Out of the pillars. Huh.
Join me, Robin.
Join me. Join the dark side. Okay. There you go. There it is. Oh. A little bit easy on the beaming up there, Scotty, will
I
you?
apologize. The levitator was calibrated for heavier bodies. I would have helped you to your feet, but as you can see, I have been fully integrated with the ship.
Oh, you have?
Is
Yeah,
this
you're not
permanent?
kidding.
Nothing is permanent. Are you ready to go?
Yes. I found the answers I was looking for.
Indeed.
I'm ready to move on. I can't bring Sam back,
True.
but I know she died fighting, and I got to finish her work. I'll always carry her memory.
Should have taken that photograph.
Please brace yourself, and
Oh, boy.
then we will depart.
Brace yourself. Brace for launch. All right. Show me what you got, big guy.
Launching in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, boy. Well, there's a whole lot more land to this place than I thought. Okay, so I imagine we're just gonna play Legos here and attach ourselves. Ooh, that is freaky looking. Whoa, it's a portal! I thought the whole thing was a ship! Right, it is a gateway, duh! I'm just a little bit slow. I'm sorry. Woo! What? What? Whoa! Whoa! Easy. I can't control this thing.
What will we find when we get there?
If I am the last of my kind, I will experience the sorrow of 10,000 souls dimming.
Oh, that's poetic. In a sad way. I guess that's another portal. Whoa, what the heck? Oh, you scared me. Oh, that wasn't funny. Are we there yet? Ooh, it does feel like we're there. Oh, hey, look, we're in New York.
And if they survived?
With you, I am ready to face whatever awaits.
Yo, that's the Architect home planet.
Well, there you have it, my lovelies. We actually reached the Architect home world, but we have absolutely no clue as to what shall unfold here for Alan and Robin. Maybe we find out in a future game. Who knows? Either way, thank you so very much for watching, my lovelies. I do hope you had a wonderful time, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.